Now I'm going to finish it in just a little bit. I'm on chapter 3. I got one more chapter to do.
I'd like to talk to your audience. Is that cool?
There.
Don't touch me, John.
Okay.
Can I talk to your audience, please, John?
No, I'm going to keep talking.
Hello. I know.
Oh, you're early.
John.
Mitch is early. That's Mitch.
John, what time was I supposed to be here, John?
Probably around noon.
That's when I'm supposed to be here?
Yeah, you're supposed to be here at noon.
Why did you believe that I was going to be here at noon, John?
I can't talk to him because he's going to keep talking.
You can talk to me, John. You're allowed to because you can edit this later. You can pause your recording.
I don't recall.
And then
I'll
record.
leave everything on.
Why? Who told you to behave like that? Who told you to make your videos like that? Why did you decide you're going to make your videos?
Let's see. What was I talking
Was it part
about?
of a personal revelation to you from the creator of all things?
Let me go to the scripture. I'll just finish this chapter.
I'd like to talk to you, John, like an actual human being. Can we do that? I would like to talk to you as a creator, a YouTube creator. Can we do that?
So, God bless you.
John, my microphone is broken here. Can you fix it? Do you know how to fix my microphone? It's broken. I've been using it for 6 years and it doesn't work anymore. I use it to record the audio. I generally keep it going all the times that I'm out. Do you have a microphone like this?
I'm going to read through downwards.
It's $60. You're not live streaming, right, John? You can edit this later. You can edit this part out.
Verse 43. I come in my Father's name.
God knew that I was going to be here at this time, right? And so you weren't done yet when Right, he must have known. So he knew that I was going to come and interrupt it. So this is what God wanted. Right, and what he wanted you to do was to edit this video and edit this section out. You know how I can know?
Showed up because
but you're kind of not, right?
Comments on my video. I looked at his comments.
That's right. There's tons of comments on that video. It's one of your best videos, right?
And he said on his channel, he's not getting any traction whatsoever on my
No, I'm saying your videos suck.
My video.
When I have you on, nobody watches, John. Nobody cares. Like, I'm trying out of the goodness of my own heart to help you, John. It's not because I'm getting the views. That's not why I'm here, John. I do not get the views when I come out and hang out with you. Much like me on your video, the reason that you're letting me be on this video and you're like trying to make it all like, you know, confrontational is because it gets you views. It puts me in your top videos. Man, I cannot get this thing to work.
Somebody else's name, so
No. I come in my own name. I'm Mitch. Hi, I'm Mitch. John is the one who's wearing somebody else's name. Whose name are you coming in the name of, John?
The name of the Lord Jesus.
Right, which is a fictional character. I come in the name of Mitch, schizophrenic Mitch. You can check out my YouTube. No, it's totally contradicting that verse, John. Not a lot of people follow. Well, it's because I'm respectable, John.
Because he is a preacher of the gospel.
Is that what you're telling all of the people that are listening? Is that they
follow him? Well, I also.
Why do people follow me, John?
We preach two different gospels.
Well, sort of.
Two different names.
Not really. You just have a misunderstanding about God. That's not really true because we both are worshiping the one true creator of all reality. You just misunderstand what it is. John, can you fix this for me? Can you fix this recording device? I really would love to record the audio of this. It bums me out that it's not working.
You receive. So a lot of people receive him. Verse 44.
So a lot of people receive you too, John, right? Like, why are you getting mad at me because I'm good at this? That's kind of like hypocritical. Just because I'm a good street preacher and I know how to edit my videos and cut things out.
His name is Mitch.
What do you mean by honor?
They honor him.
Do people honor you, John?
And
how can I tell if something is honoring something or not? Is this just poetry to you, John, or do these words mean things? I'd like to talk to you about the definition of the words you're using. John, one of the things I'd very much like to talk to you about, I wrote it down on my hand. Can you read it, John? The thing that I'd like to talk to you about today is this. Can we talk about this today, John? Can we put it in your video? Can we do a chapter 5?
You can see yourself right there.
I know, but we can edit this out, and I don't know if you're going to edit this out. It's probably Why? Why not? Is that a promise that you made? Is that something that you like to do as a creative person, or is that because of Jesus told you that you have to do it like that?
A lot of people don't realize I do struggle a lot out here.
Oh no, we realize you struggle a lot, John. We can tell. So you're going to edit all of this out, John? This is my tripod, John.
Oh, wow.
Do you not like my tripod?
No, I like it.
This is my camera. What do you think? It's a...
I've seen that before.
Yeah. It's my second one. I broke one a couple years ago, and I was super sad about it.
Verse 45.
And oh my gosh, look how fat I am. Look at my corona weight. I look really fat on your video, dude.
Even Moses. So Isn't it?
Moses is mythology. Moses never lived. Moses was made up sort of during the Babylonian captivity. John just has not done the research on that, so
is also
John can't tell
he testifies of
whether or not something's true. Hey John, you were talking about the end of Mark. That's what it says on my hand. It says end of Mark.
So,
there's verses at the end of Mark that some people say do not belong in the Bible. Do you know what I'm talking about, John?
Mitch, but I don't want people to trust me.
Yes, you do.
You in my name.
You are
I'm coming in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ.
So, but you want people to trust in your understanding of it.
And
right?
How you get saved.
You want people to trust in your understanding of Jesus.
If you believe in the spaghetti monster, then that's where your faith is going to be. That's where your belief.
What do you mean by believe in the spaghetti monster? I think you misunderstand the argument that I'm trying to make. I don't think it's kind of like Satanists, John. Like people who are in the Church of Satan, they don't believe. I don't preach it. I preach truth. I don't preach the flying spaghetti monster.
But a lot of
John, you're straw manning. John, you're straw manning my arguments. You don't understand my arguments at all.
Verse 47.
If you would allow me to explain to you what I'm actually trying to explain to you, if you would take the time. But I do have to set up my hardware. I wish that you wouldn't go yet because I'm not ready with my hardware.
Don't believe Noah.
I'm trying to.
Noah was a witness too.
Do you know why though? That some people don't believe Noah.
A lot of people don't even believe there was a flood, even though.
That's right. Do you know?
All over the world have stories.
Do you know why?
Something that.
Do you know why? Like geologists believe that there was no flood.
Some sort of catastrophic.
Is that right? Even like the geologists that like look at the rocks and like determine what the rocks are saying to us.
What we call it. As Christians, we call it that.
Yeah, but it didn't happen. It's mythology. Much like there's this idea that Maui fished up the North Island. The North Island of New Zealand is called the Fish of Maui, and the South Island is called the Canoe of Maui. And so, but that's not where it came from, right? It was volcanic, or
let me read verse 46 one more time.
Verse 46 of what? Of John? Who wrote the book of John? 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 Who wrote that book?
Of me.
What year was that book written, John?
Wrote of Jesus Christ. Moses wrote of Jesus Christ.
Moses didn't write anything, John. What year did Moses write, John?
Verse 47. But if you believe not his right.
All right, I've almost got my camera ready. Would you say hi to all my people? I'm recording, John. Would you say hi?
Hello.
On this camera right here. Okay, and so I've got in my camera. Oh, we can look at this. Look at that. It's like
you're not going to believe the word.
It's so meta and self-referential.
Change your doctrine. You're gonna.
And if you do believe Moses, then you're gonna change the doctrine about like geology and stuff.
I'm making a video for my channel, but he wants to interrupt me.
No. I want to talk to you. No, I want to talk to you, and I want to teach you how to be a good editor, and I want to teach you how to edit this part out so you can make a better video. Because I have to watch your videos, John, and they're so terrible. Like you make really bad videos. I want to teach you how to edit your videos so that you can edit things out that you don't want, so that way you can make better videos for me to watch.
Okay, okay.
John, I'd like to talk to you like an adult, okay? I'd like to have a conversation about this hateful shit you're doing.
Hey, Jesus rocks, right?
What? What are you talking about?
That's right.
Yeah, how you doing, man?
He's the creator of all.
How do you know that?
You don't.
How do you know that?
Brothers in the Lord.
What's your name, sir?
All things from creation.
Are you just going to preach to me, or are you going to engage with like an adult?
Actually, scientists
Hey, I'm live streaming right here. Would you say hi to all my people?
Hey, how's it going?
So you're telling my people that scientists have proven what?
Proven. If you've taken an atom
yes,
and they break it down to an atom.
Cool. If I could disprove the Bible, would you stop being a Christian? If I could disprove the Bible, would you stop being a Christian?
So everything is.
Hey, look. What does it say on my hand? What does it say on my hand?
I'm not sure.
It says end of Mark. Do you know the last verses in Mark? Are you aware of the controversy that's going on with the last verses of Mark?
Want to make a point.
Yeah, and the point is about this. I wrote it before you got here. This is what I've been trying to talk about today. Can we talk about it? This is what the subject of the day.
Well, you asked about Christ. How do I know? So do you want me to answer?
I want you to answer how you know the last verses of Mark are true. That's how you know that. Are the last verses of Mark true? The last.
I guess your first question was, is God true?
No,
How do you
no,
know
no.
that?
My first question is, how do you know that the last verses of Mark are true or not? That's my first and only question today. How do you know
I'm
whether...
not a theologian, so.
You're not? I am. I'm a theologian. I can tell you how a person should judge whether or not the last verses of Mark are true or not. Would you like to talk about that? Do you know how to switch this around?
Really. But I can tell you on what I believe.
Cool. You believe the Bible's true, right?
Absolutely.
How do you know the Bible's true?
Because it was spoken words from God.
Whoa. You just, that's a circular argument. Do you agree? Do you know what a circular argument is? I'm a theologian. I know what a circular argument is. Would you like me to explain it to you? If that was a circular argument, would you give it up?
I don't know why I believe the scripture is.
If that was a circular argument, would you give that argument up and use a different argument? If you learned that that
want me to
argument...
answer a question? Or
and the question is, if you learned that argument you just gave for the truthfulness of the Bible was a circular argument, would you continue to give that, or would you use a different argument?
Don't listen to him at all.
I know,
He's in a completely different
We're
world.
created body, soul, spirit.
So the last verses of Mark were added centuries later. Have you heard of that?
Like I said, I'm not a
And those
theologian.
I know you're not a theologian.
So you
I'm a
wanna
theologian.
ask somebody that's not a theologian.
You walked up here like you know what the fuck you're talking about,
I do
right?
know what I'm talking about.
Cool, but you're not a theologian.
I'm not, but I do
Cool.
know
So,
evidence.
do you know, have you heard of this controversy? He's not heard about the last verses of Mark controversy, John. Would you
Is
like
he
to
just
explain it
giving
to
you
him?
stuff this whole time?
No, we're talking about a thing. You preached about this
If you want to say something
in your
on the
last video. Didn't you
you're
preach
more than
about the last verses of Mark in your last video? Is that right? Okay, he did
So,
preach about
do you
the last
believe in
verses.
science?
I don't know. What do you mean by science? What is science to you?
Scientists.
What do you mean when you say science?
So they say that scientists are the ones that.
What do
give us
you mean when
our
you say
absolute
science?
truth.
When you say science, what do you mean?
The breakdown and study and research of all things.
Okay, so I believe
You're
in
trying
the
to
breakdown
reason
and
with him,
study
you're
of
gonna
all
lose,
things. No.
because He is really.
No, I'm here to reason. That's why I came here. No. He just preaches and sermonizes. He doesn't reason. I came here to reason. Is that what you came here? He doesn't reason. Let's talk about the last verses. What?
Why would we have to reason?
Because some people believe that the last verses of Mark are divine, and some people think that they are not. Which do you think?
You're
Which do
fighting
you
one
think?
singular point.
So that we can.
Argument is one singular thing.
Yeah, my argument is one singular thing, and I wrote it on my hand. Yes, that's correct. I've been trying to explain this to you. Hey, have you heard about the last verses of Mark?
You know the
Don't
difference
listen to
between
him.
people who believe in God and people like you?
Have you heard about the controversy?
Like, rah, rah.
Have you heard about the controversy of the last verses of Mark?
And we only bring love.
Have you heard about the controversy going on with the last verses of Mark? Have you heard about that controversy?
No, I actually have never heard, and I've grown up in the church my whole life.
John has heard about it. John, have you heard about the
But we're
controversy?
talking about what kind of Bible too.
Right, we're talking about the kind of Bible because he's saying
about, like,
he's
New
saying
King
that
James?
John preached yesterday
Are you talking
about the
New
last
King James
verses
version?
of Mark.
What version of the Bible are you talking about?
I'm talking about a couple of different
What
versions.
I'm
version?
letting the camera.
The
roll,
ones-
Mitch comes down here
And tries to talk to him about what he's preaching and the hate that he's preaching. Have you heard about the controversy in the last verses of
Bible,
Mark?
yes, it's been changed by me.
Have you heard about the controversy with the last verses in the Bible? You just said some things to me, so that's
run
weird.
for a little while longer
But
because a lot of people don't know what goes
so
on.
you keep on saying things to me though you have nothing to say.
I'm
So
not
your
talking to him.
actions are contradicting your words. Are you noticing this? That your actions contradict your words?
My actions
Yeah, you
contradict
can
my
say
words.
whatever
Okay.
you
You're
like
like,
on it.
rah, rah, rah.
Have you heard about the controversy with the last verses of Mark? Have you heard about that controversy? It's written on my hand. The end of Mark. Have you heard about the controversy with the last verses of Mark? Some people say that they were added centuries later. Have you heard about that? Some people have said that those verses were added centuries later. John thinks that they were not. They were in there originally. What do you think? Do you think they were in there originally, or do you think that they were added later? And also, the woman caught in adultery, do you know that story? A lot of people think that happened at the same time. John said that it's the Catholics who tried to take it out. That's what John was preaching yesterday.
Who's been doing this?
Every time he comes down to town, I'd like to talk to him.
First Friday of every
I keep trying to talk to him. I have lots of patience to explain these things to him.
I'm a full-time street minister. So.
Where can they go to support you? Where are your links? What books should they buy from you?
Yeah, we will.
I really get a lot of.
Have you heard about that before today? Was I the person that made you aware of the controversy with the last few verses of Mark? Am I the one who educated you in that? Did any of your pastors educate you of that before me? Was it a Christian Christian pastor that tried to educate you on that, or was it a Pastafarian?
Do you believe in the Bible or not?
I believe the Bible exists. That's a good question. Now,
Do you believe the words written in the Bible are true?
I believe that someone wrote those words, and I believe that someone wrote the last verses of Mark centuries later. Is that what you believe?
So
Do you have your Bible with you? Which Bible do you use?
Do you believe
Which
in the
Bible do you
Constitution?
use? Which Bible do you use? Which
Do you
version?
believe in the Constitution?
We were just talking about it because he was saying that it's the Catholic version of the Bible that has those removed.
So we had about
That's what you said
What's
the other
your
day,
favorite
John.
book?
My favorite book in the Bible?
No, what's your favorite book?
In the world?
Yeah.
It's a book called Small Gods by Terry Pratchett. Have you read
How
it?
do you believe it?
I don't believe it. It's fiction. What?
No, it was written by a person.
What are you talking about, sir? Are you trying to reason with me?
If you're trying to counter-contradict everything that was written from a man has no evidence of
And they
truth.
never even knew Jesus. They
So
didn't know
how do you
what was
believe
going on.
anything?
They're loving
How do I?
Jesus.
Okay,
And
cool.
it's pretty
Like,
amazing what's
well, I
going
want
on.
to talk about this. That's why I wrote it down. I'm trying to stay on topic. Will you please stay on topic? Can you please stay on
I don't
topic?
think that's relevant.
I think it's relevant because that's why I wrote it on my hand before you arrived, right? It was relevant before you got here. It was written on my hand.
And like I said,
Also, the woman who was taken in adultery, it seems like that was added at the same time. It's called the pericope adultery. When was it added, John? John, when was that section taken from and added to the Bible?
I've been doing this for 48 years. So
John,
I've been around the
what
block
book?
a few times.
It's the book of Mark, the last verses of the book of Mark.
Look you up, definitely. We appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah, where are you usually stationed, John? And then where is your... He wants you to come to his church on Sunday. Where do they meet you for their church on Sunday, John?
Every October.
Where do you go on Sundays? John, where can they worship with you? Did he already tell you?
there's no place that you have to worship. You
No, but John goes to a place and he would like you to go there with him. John, invite them to join you on Sunday. John, invite them to buy your book, John. John, tell them about your book. He has a
Is it
book?
his book?
Yeah, it is. John, tell them about your study book.
Well, I'll look it up.
Check out his study book. It would really help him financially.
Thank you.
Also, he's very open about where the money comes
All
from.
right? I love you.
So,
He's really a good guy. I don't think I have anything against you.
I have something
think-
against you.
No.
You support hate preachers.
No, you don't
I have
even
something
know.
against you. I do know you. I know that you support hate
No,
preachers.
I said I.
Why do you keep having things to say to me when you don't have anything more to say to me?
No,
I
but what
thought
I'm
you don't
saying
have
is-
anything more to say
I
to
said
me.
I don't know how to answer.
Remember
your
when you said
question.
that with your mouth to me that you don't have anything to say to me? And now you have more to say to me?
He thinks
What's
you're
your
a
name?
good guy.
What's your name?
I don't need to tell you my
What's your name, Karen?
No. You
What's
asked
your
me the
name? Stop
question
touching me.
about your-
Don't touch me again. Do you understand?
I know, but you said.
Do you understand the kind of physical
But this is
contact?
funny
You're touching
that
him. Why?
We are like the preachers of hate, yet you scream and yell in my face.
I'm not screaming and yelling. I'm trying to talk to you about the last verses of Mark. Have you heard about that?
Screaming and yelling.
Am I screaming and yelling?
Yes,
Okay.
you have
Okay.
been the whole time.
No,
I was
we
I've been
have
screaming
not.
and yelling.
So we
I've been
answered your
screaming and
question.
yelling.
Yes, you have.
So what else do you have to say?
What I have to say is, have you heard about the controversy about Mark? So I am the first person to make you aware of this.
Yes.
John was aware of this. When did you become aware of this idea, John? The last
It doesn't
verses of
change
Mark.
the way I've experienced Jesus. Jesus has
It does
changed my
change. It does.
life.
I am changing the way that you
Actually,
experience
100%.
Jesus
It will not.
because it's not. It was added later, and you shouldn't believe that those are true verses of the
And you
Bible.
don't think
Wow, my whole
revisions
faith
of the
is
Bible
totally ruined. Not true.
have changed?
Because
Cool,
God
cool.
has changed my life.
John,
God has
when
changed
were they
my
added?
marriage. God has changed. He's healed him. I've
Cool.
seen healings happen.
Dude,
God is more
I
than
wish
a
that
book.
you'd stay on topic.
I
I
know,
really
but
wish
God
that
is
you'd
more than
engage
a
with the
book.
things that I'm saying.
I'm not fighting against what you're trying to fight against. Whatever you have to say does not ruin my faith in God because I have an intimate relationship with Him.
Except he never told you about those verses in Mark, right? Your relationship with me is more intimate because I
Let me
told
ask-
you
let
about
me
it,
ask
right?
you a question.
I explained it to you that sometimes some of the words in the Bible you shouldn't trust. They were added later.
Let's reverse the
And I
roles.
was the one who told you that, and
Let's
it's
say
true. So
you
you're
came
welcome.
out here.
Let's do reverse the roles.
You came out here.
It's like satire, right? When you reverse roles.
Yeah,
It's
so
like
let's say
satirizing
you came
something.
out here and you had a message to give to people.
Let's.
And then you had somebody like yourself.
Yeah.
come,
Like
and
saying
all you're
John
doing
did
is
that,
just
but he
like
doesn't.
condemning him and
Wait. Say that again.
Yelling,
So
screaming and yelling,
Yeah.
and talking over people so nobody can hear what you have to say.
everyone can hear what you had to say. We've recorded it in 3 different places. He recorded it. I'm streaming it here, and I'm recording it here.
And then
So many
further-
people are going to be able to hear hear all of the things that you've said today.
All you do is hate. All you've done here.
What is hate? Can you explain to me what hate is?
Hate is what you're
What is
doing.
hate?
Hate is what you're doing.
Okay, but let's define hate. Instead of identifying...
Trying to like...
Screaming and yelling again. You're still accusing me of screaming and yelling.
You are right now.
Let's identify... Instead of identifying cases of hate, let's define hate. What is hate? Do you know what hate is? Do you know what hate is? Did your God teach you what hate is?
Yes.
Define hate, please.
You know, I just don't need to talk to you. I gotta go eat.
Yeah, you have nothing to say to me? You have nothing further to say to me again?
Okay. Yeah.
Again, you're at that place? Didn't work last time. Why'd you try it again? Did Jesus tell you that should move?
Your opinion?
Yeah. So we're satirizing
you don't
again?
have ears to hear or eyes to
I do. I've heard all the things that you said. I've recorded it as well. I'm publishing it. I've engaged with the things that you said. I have ears to hear the things you said.
But like,
it's not pointless. I'm a reasonable person. You know what's pointless is talking to this guy, and that's why I come down.
Because you won't listen to anything we have to say.
I've listened to everything y'all have had to say. I responded to the things that you had to say. I can't respond to you if I didn't listen. Is that right?
Neglected the words we did say.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, but you guys are like, well, no, I didn't. I responded to you. It can't be neglect if I responded to it. Your accusation there is bullshit.
A question.
Yeah, my question is.
And then you turn.
My question is, if in those verses in Mark there was something important, would you change your faith?
Can I get a high five?
No, I don't want to touch you.
But common camaraderie is I respect you as a person.
Then let's not touch.
I don't have to believe in what you believe, and it's okay.
Then why did you come up to me and attack me?
I didn't attack you. I came to say hi to him.
I saw this guy, liked his shirt, liked his hat, loved it. I love what you're doing, and I appreciate it.
Even though he's not going to tell you about it. Dude, I still don't want to touch you. Like, that's the thing. I don't want to touch you.
I only preach on the video.
Why?
I preach a sermon.
What about chest bump?
And then after I'm done with my sermon,
No, this is fine. Like, I don't know why you have to be more than this. Why don't you engage with the things that I'm saying?
Do you not like me?
I don't like that you support hate preachers. I don't like some of the things that you do. I don't like some of the decisions. I think that people are intrinsically valuable, and I like that there is value in you. I wish that you would use... No, because you understand that that's not a thing that I want, and then you're still pressing it, which is really like a lame thing to do.
So then how do people show like agreement to things?
We don't agree. You support hate preachers.
I agree that you're a person, I'm a person.
Yeah, so they say namaste. That's what namaste means. Did anybody ever tell you that? That's what namaste means?
Namaste?
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
I'd like to talk to you about your false and hateful beliefs. Hey, John. Let's talk about this. I wrote this on my hand. Can we talk about it? I was trying to talk to those people about it. You were preaching about it, right? That thing? Is that right, John?
God bless you, man.
The other day? Is that right? You said it in your most recent video. I watched your video, John, right?
Watch my video? Why would you spend any time watching my crummy video?
John, because I would like to talk to you about the things that you preach. John.
Give me a second.
Why? Can't you talk while you're doing it? Like I was talking to you while I was setting my stuff up.
I know, you're good.
That's what I keep telling you, John. And then when I'm like trying to talk to you, you're like getting mad at me, dude. I'm just trying to fucking...
I think it's great.
You don't. Why do you lie like that? Did Jesus teach you to lie like that? Nathan Mercer is here. Would you like to say hello to Nathan Mercer?
Hello, Nathan.
Thanks for coming, Nathan. Let's talk about religion. Because you were talking about your opinion about the last verses in Mark, right? Remember? And what is it that you say? I don't want to talk for you. Do you want? And I don't want to link your video either. So let's just.
You don't want to link my video.
No, dude. I want to have to download your video and find that thing and like edit it in. So can you just explain to the people at home what you believe about the last verses of Mark? I don't want to strawman you, John. I want to engage with the things that you say that you believe. So, what is the controversy with the last verses of Mark?
I'm going to blow my nose.
Cool. Would you like me to cut it out of the video, or do you care if I leave it in?
You can do whatever you like.
I know I can do whatever I like.
Running?
Because I understand how the First Amendment works and like personal freedom. I understand how all that works. So you're not like explaining anything, you're just avoiding the question. Because my question is, what would you like? What would you like to happen, John? Would you like it that nose blow gets edited out of the video that I post? Or would you like it that the nose blow does not get edited out of the video? And you see that the answer that you gave didn't engage that question, right? You ignored that question. Do you agree? You're being very evasive, John. Why? You can't evade.
Put your tripod in the middle of the road there, and you.
Okay, I'll move it, John. Yeah, what a good idea. I'll move it over here. Is this like better?
Just, you know.
What do you think?
For people to walk by, it's the law to obstruct the flow.
Oh, you know about the laws now.
What? The police officer told me.
Whose thing is that? Whose thing is that, John? Whose thing is that, John? Oh, so putting it on someone else's property is not against the law? I'm not talking about obstructing. I'm just talking about how illegal it is to put your shit on somebody's thing. Which
my
you
banner in there too. Here's my banner, guys.
Dude, I had it in there, and then you made me move. Jeez, guy. You're a very exacting producer when it's my video, but when you're producing your videos, you're not as much a perfectionist.
Join
John,
my cult. What's the rest of it say?
The rest of this sign?
No, we got 3 of them.
Well,
Why
John,
do you have to stand so close?
To get in the shot, John.
Oh, well, move the video back.
You just told me I gotta move it. John, Chuck, are you doing this on purpose? Are you trying to annoy me, John? John, look, I'm engaged with what you're saying in good faith. If you're saying things just to be
doing a good job today.
Annoying.
I just don't like the cursing. You don't need.
I know, John. What don't I like about what you're doing, John? Do you care what I don't like about what you're doing? I know you don't like the cursing, dude. This offends people, John. You don't care. Why would I care? Why would I care if you don't like the cursing? You don't care what I don't like, John. Do you understand that you're being hypocritical? Oh my God, John. All right, what does it say on my hand? Let's see. John, I was watching a video, and these are the notes. These are the notes that I took, John, in the video. I had a marker in my hand, and I was lost. I was like, let's not forget about this. So I wrote it down. I'd like to talk to you about what you said about the last verses in Mark. Can you explain that again?
Than you were last time.
Can you explain?
Oh, that's the spaghetti monster, one-eyed monster.
Can you? And this shirt here is available. If you could point to the links below, John, and show them where they can buy the shirt. What these shirts available? This specific shirt is available
point to Jesus.
At my OnlyFans. You can go to my OnlyFans and buy this shirt unwashed. Check out my OnlyFans. Okay, what does my sign say? Here's another one of my signs.
So if you want to receive Jesus Christ, you believe on the Lord.
Here's another one of my signs, John.
What I did when
what
I was
does it say?
19 and a half, maybe 20, I said, Jesus, if you're real, here I am. Because I didn't know Jesus was real. How does anybody know Jesus is real until you pray?
I turn the phone. They're telling me I should turn the phone. Is this going through? Does it work?
What is that working with this?
Should I stop? Should I stop the stream and restart it to get it sideways? They want it to be sideways.
Well, get it sideways.
So I think I blew it to get it sideways. I'm sorry, Filthy Films. Though it's good to see you. It's been a long time since Filthy Films came by. Look, we're hanging out with John Choque today.
John Choque.
Hey, John Choque, how have you been? Here's my other sign, but I really would like to talk about this. This is the subject.
End of Mark.
Yeah, let's talk about that. That's the subject I'd like to talk to you about today. What were you preaching about the book of Mark, John?
Well, I did. I went through the whole I went through the whole section there.
The last verses of Mark. There's something about them, John. What were you saying about the last verses of Mark?
20, I think.
John, why would you not engage with this subject with me? What do you get from that?
Has been taken out, not added.
By who? Who took it out?
Mitch says.
No. Who took it out?
Mitch says
No. I don't say anything. I'm asking you, dude.
Okay.
You are saying that the Catholics, right? Say that part.
No.
Who took it out? Who took it out when? John. Who took those verses out?
Probably Origen took it out around 220, 230.
Okay.
And said that they weren't part of the gospel. They weren't part of the Bible.
All right.
I don't know exactly. I forget exactly what date.
So, I want to talk about the things that make you believe what you believe, okay? Because that's what epistemology is.
I thought that was Mark. I thought we were going to talk about Mark.
Right. I want you to talk about why you believe the things about Mark. Like what your evidence for determining whether or not those verses are divine or not. Because it's an important question.
It could be a sign that follows. So if you do something, like for example, if you're on a road
No, you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. Please, John. Please, you're misunderstanding what I'm saying.
If you turn off on that highway, you should have a sign that tells you you've turned onto the right highway. Therefore, you know that the highway you're on is correct. You don't have to wonder. Well, when I turned onto a certain road spiritually, I had a sign that said you're on the correct road.
There's another section of the Bible that has the same questionality as...
Signs follow those who preach the gospel, preach the word of God, preach the truth. If you don't preach the truth, you may have signs following, but the signs will follow if you preach another gospel.
John, are you talking about Mark right now? Are you talking about the book of Mark?
And Mitch doesn't believe in Mark. The last few verses there, he believes they were added.
Yeah, but you think they're not.
And then later they were taken out by people.
You think those verses are not added, John. And so all the true Christians who know because God told them that they were, everyone who had the feeling inside and feels justified in believing, they know you're a false Christian, right?
Turn that sideways.
Do you understand? No, I blew it, John. I explained that to you. John, why are you always 3 sentences behind? John Choque, are you doing that intentionally? Are you doing that to annoy me? Why are you doing that?
What does the key mean? So you had the key? That's a good-looking key.
John Choque, good God, would you please stick to the topic? You're like all over the place. You're literally looking for anything to distract you from the conversation. Like a child, John. Why are you behaving like a child?
I'm a child of God.
You're behaving like a child, John. Do you agree that you're behaving like a child?
I'm a child of God.
So you do agree that you're behaving like a child, John?
I'm a child of God.
See, John Choque, why do you hate questions?
I love questions.
Then why don't you answer them?
Because you don't want the answer.
John Choque.
You want your answer.
No, John, I want you to answer the question. John, how can I disprove that to you? I know you don't believe that about me, John.
I don't believe that.
Thank you.
It's true. I don't believe that.
Well, then why did you say it, John? Like, literally, you have to confess that you are just involved in the automatic gainsaying of anything that I say. And as Monty Python will teach you, that is not an argument. Do you recall the argument sketch from Monty Python, John Choque? Do you recall that sketch?
That's a question. The answer to the question is no, I don't.
That's correct.
Don't remember.
All right. Now, can we talk about the topic? Can we talk about the topic, John Choque? Can we talk about the topic that I wrote on my hand, the topic of today's episode? What is the topic?
End of Mark.
The end of Mark.
So Mark could be the mark of the beast. It could be the name of Mark.
Good God, is this poetry to you? Like, are you trying to make things mean not, are you...
What's the point of this camera here? I mean, is that recording the video also?
Why do you care, John Choque?
Curious. I'm a curious soul.
Well, I wish that you would be curious about when the verses in Mark were added. I wish you'd be curious about that. When were they added, John? When were they put into the
were added when
book of Mark
wrote the gospel?
What year was that?
His name is John Mark. Mark is actually his last name.
What year did he write his gospel?
You tell me. I don't know when it wrote the gospel.
Why don't you know the year that Mark wrote his gospel? I thought you were talking to me about all the shit you know. Why don't you know that? I thought you were curious. I wish that you were curious about the year that so-called John Mark wrote his gospel.
I was thinking about you this morning. I said, man, I should have told Mr. bring me a sandwich, but then I thought I better not because he'd probably put something in there I shouldn't eat. I'm hungry.
What a shitty thing to say, John. Well, that's rude. Like, why would you just say that?
Because I wanted you to bring a sandwich down because I'm hungry.
That's a real...
you come down here.
Do you understand that's a real dick move that you just pulled right now? That's a fucking shitty thing to say, John. Fuck you. That's what I say to that fucking obscenity that you just said to me. You just said...
Bring a sandwich down?
Because I'd probably put something in it. Go fuck yourself, John. You don't find that to be obscene? You don't think that's an obscenity? To accuse me of an imaginary poisoning? You think that that's a cool thing to do? You think... Cool. Oh, well, I think it's obscene.
You're doing it right
and I wish that you'd stop being obscene.
My ministry.
John, you don't understand what I'm doing.
Ministry, you're poisoning my witness.
Hey, today we're talking about the last verses of Mark.
Just keep on going. Yeah, just keep on.
They were added to the Bible 200 years later, the last verses of the book of Mark.
So for me to say that is absolute truth. Because you work for a liar,
John,
a cheat, and a thief, Satan himself, and Satan is a deceiver. And so you would deceive. That's why I said what I said.
John,
that's why I did not ask.
The Bible's not true. John, the Bible is an evil book. And you preach that evil here, and you sow poison into all these people's lives.
What is the definition of evil?
What is the definition of evil? John, the Bible is an evil book, and you preach that evil here, and you sow poison into all these people's lives. What is the definition of evil? John, the Bible is an evil book, and you sow poison into all these people's lives. What is the definition of evil? John, the Bible is an evil book, and you preach that evil here, and you sow poison into all these people's lives. What is the definition of evil? John, the Bible is an evil book, and you sow poison into all these people's lives. What is the definition of evil? John, the Bible is an evil book, and you preach that evil here, and you sow poison into all these people's lives. What is the definition of evil? John, the Bible is an evil book, and you sow poison into all these people's lives. What is the definition of evil? John, the Bible is an evil book, and you preach that evil here, and you sow poison into all these people's lives. What is the definition of You want to go by my definition or yours, John? Whose definition? So if I give you a definition, are you just going to tell me I'm wrong? If I give you a definition, John, are you just going to tell me I'm wrong and try to convince me to have a different definition?
Ask your audience.
Or are you going to accept my definition of evil and run with that and try to explain it to me? Yeah, but wait.
I want to hear it.
So you expect to not accept it?
I asked you a question. You won't answer my questions. You want me to answer yours, but I can't get an answer out of you. What is
You can get an answer out of me, John. If you will clarify.
What is the definition of evil? Your definition, not my definition. Your definition.
I don't often use the concept of evil in my religion, John.
You say it to me every time I'm here.
Because I believe that you have a concept of evil. Is that correct, John? I'm trying to engage you.
Answer my question. So I hope you're.
No, I answered it, John. I answered it, John. I answered it. I did. What I said was I don't often use this idea when I engage with people.
That's a definition.
So I don't use a definition of evil.
The definition of evil is I don't always use it.
No. I don't often use it.
That's
I generally.
How confusing you are, sir.
Is that confusing? Here, my apologies for making it confusing, John. Let me explain it a little bit better.
But it's confusing everybody else.
So, what is your definition of joules? Do you know what joules are? What is your definition of the meter, John?
So you're not going to really give me the true definition of your definition of evil.
I don't often use the word evil.
Definition of evil is, so they'll type it in there so you can get people commenting on your video.
I think you just did, John. Why won't you engage in yourself?
What are they saying?
They are saying, still love you, audio is good, even though the thing is turned the wrong way. He still accepts my fallibility and appreciates the efforts today. An Israeli named John Mark wrote a gospel. This guy believes in Satan, not his noodly goodness. They're saying you believe in Satan, John. Do you believe in Satan?
I know there's a Satan, yep.
So you are saying that you believe in Satan. If I could prove to you there was no Satan, would you give up your belief in the Bible?
Oh, you can't do it. So it'd be impossible to prove there's no
John,
Satan.
do you know what the word if
Since
means?
you serve that God,
John,
Satan, he keeps himself.
Do you understand
hidden in
that
a secret.
avoiding the question?
So you don't know what he even looks like, what he feels like, what he sounds like.
Does communicate your belief that it would negate your belief?
You believe that
by saying it cannot be done, you are saying effectively yes. Do you understand?
And since you believe that he is imaginary, that he is hidden, you don't even know where you are now.
John, how could the creator of the Bible communicate to you that the last verses of Mark were forgeries? How could that idea be communicated to you? What would you look for?
What is the definition of Satan? Who is Satan?
Satan is imaginary. Who is
imaginary
Santa?
What?
This imaginary character from the Christian tradition of myth.
So if one day you
Who's
actually
Loki?
meet
John,
Satan,
my turn. I answered your question. John, I answered the question. John, I answered the question. It's my turn. John, it's my turn. John, let's not do sermons afterwards, okay? So you're going to ask a question, and I'm going to give an answer, and you're going to give a sermon. Let's skip the sermon part. Let's skip the sermon part, John. You already did your sermon, right? To your camera. So let's not do the sermonizing. Let's trade questions. John.
They're also going to find out it's going to be too late.
John, let's trade answers.
They're going to find out that hell is real.
John.
That judgment is real. That
John Choque.
of fire is real. Even if you don't believe it, you're going to find
Pokeman is here. Hello, Pokeman. Welcome to the stream here. We're with John Choque. John, let's trade answers instead of doing the sermon part, okay? I didn't sermonize after you did.
You sermonize everything you talk.
Dude, come on!
You're a street preacher. You sermonize everything.
I'm not street preaching right now, dude. I'm trying to engage with you in a conversation. Also, you're not a street preacher, dude.
Out of Denver. That's your purpose. You want me to leave your city as if you own the city.
That would feel good, John. I would consider that a win. But what I want to do, John.
You live in one of these corners here?
What I want to do, John,
across the street in this hotel?
is help you untie that Gordian knot in your mind and help you give up your addiction to myth.
John, you live in one of the suites?
What I want to do is
actually a multi-millionaire.
Is hold your hand as you give up your addiction to slave mentality and irresponsibility.
So I want to do the same thing for you. I want you to give up.
The question is, do I live downtown? No, I live over in Aurora. Is that a good enough answer for you?
Aurora.
Did I answer your question?
Golden? I think Aurora's by Golden. Is Aurora by Golden? No. Aurora's...
John, you tour around and you don't even know. You're a truck driver. You don't even know the locations of these cities, dude.
I know where I am.
Yeah, but you don't know where Aurora is. Yeah. you know where you are, but holy crap, dude.
A long drive. Why would you drive?
Oh, shut up, John! Let's just stick to the topic.
Do you pay for
John!
it? You steal your
Why? What does this have to do with anything?
Here's your holy
Shut
day,
up!
You're giving it to me.
You're welcome. You're welcome, John. Because I love you. That's why. Why would I do that, John? I know. It's so poor, but I have a more like a soft spot in my heart for you, John. I can't.
Don't get any good return.
I can't give you up, John. So how could the one true creator of all reality communicate to you that no, in fact, those verses ought to be excluded from the Bible? They were additions later. How could he? Like, if you were wrong about that, how could he explain it to you today? Do you understand the question, John?
So to prove that it was wrong.
Yeah.
First off, he proved it was right.
Whoa.
Why would he turn it around and say it's
No.
wrong when
You just believe it's right.
It's right.
No, you just no. In this scenario,
See,
it's not. Oh,
the
dude.
confusion that you operate from.
John,
I know with the confusion. That's a spirit of confusion. Spirit of confusion comes from Satan,
Cool,
which
John.
is an imaginary character of the Christian faith to you.
John, there are
He's not
some.
imaginary to me. He's real to me.
Okay,
Satan is a real
well,
angel.
Santa Claus is
He
real
is
to
the
me.
prince of this
John,
world.
there
He's
are
the
some
prince of
people
the
who
air.
consider themselves
Satan is
true
actually the
believers,
God of
true
this
Christians.
world.
Say, John.
Satan was a created
John,
angel. He was
why?
called
Why are you
Lucifer
sermonizing?
in
John,
heaven.
let's talk like people,
Jesus,
adults.
the Son of God, said, I saw
We can do that.
Lucifer
Oh, did
cast
I
out
just
of heaven
fucking
like
did I even turn it around? Sorry,
and
guys.
A third of the angels.
Oh, John, why the sermonizing? John.
But he doesn't believe any of that.
You asked me some questions
Isn't
and I
that
answered
amazing
them
how
and
you
like.
don't believe reality.
Oh my
You
God.
believe truth. You believe.
John, are you gonna
something
die?
else.
John, are you gonna die? John, are you gonna die? John, are you gonna die? Hey, John, are you gonna die?
Overcome death.
Oh
That's
my
for
God,
you.
it's
That's for
so
the audience.
sad that
How
you're
can
so
you
afraid of
overcome death?
reality, John. John, it's so sad that
can you overcome-
reality
So what
is
is
so
the
scary
definition
for
of
you
death?
that you're going to ignore
That's what I
it.
should say.
That's so childish and sad,
So what
John.
is your
You just
definition
did that
of
to
death?
me, right?
What is your definition of
So I just did that right back to you, right? And
What
you
is
got all
your definition
butthurt.
of
Did you
death?
notice that
You can
you
answer
made
all
fun of
these.
me? You saying that I don't live in reality,
Because your
and then I did it
definition of
right
death
back
is
to you?
different than mine.
No, well, why would you need a different definition of death?
You're all about definitions.
Okay.
So the definition of death.
All right, so that's a person, right? And he's a continuous person from his birth until a time where he's not going to ambulate anymore. And that's going to be, I'm going to call that death. That like a human is born and lives, and then the last thing they do is die. It's going to happen to all of these people. It's that thing, it's the word that I'm using to describe what happens after all of these people stop living.
Okay.
Is that going to happen to you, John?
Yeah, my body will die, but I am not.
Whoa. Hold on.
Spirit.
What question do you think you're answering
So
right now?
let's add to the
John.
definition.
John.
Let's add to the
John.
definition.
John.
Let's enlarge the definition to include the
Cool.
truth.
Let me explain to you why the thing that you're doing
Because
right
a
now.
partial truth could lead
John.
people in the wrong direction. You want to speak the whole truth.
John,
That's our message for this week, is to testify
John,
to every man.
let's have a
When you
conversation with each
testify
other.
in court, you
Let's
want to
trade
tell the
answers.
truth.
John, let's trade answers. Do you know how to play truth or dare? John, do you know how to play truth or dare? John, do you know how to play Go Fish?
Fish. You mean the card game?
Yeah, John, do you know how to play the card game Go Fish?
I don't know if I remember how to play fish.
John, do you
It's been a
understand
good
how
year.
turns work? John, is turns an idea that is foreign to you?
Is your video working?
John, let's trade answers. Does this sentence have meaning to you? Do you understand what I'm proposing? Let's trade answers. You give an answer and I'll give an answer. John,
Give me have a hole in your shoe.
John, that's a question. John,
little
you're
toe
asking
is
me a
coming out of your
question.
shoe. You're that broke?
When you ask questions,
Fix your
John,
patch
when
on
you
your
ask questions like this, it makes me feel like you want answers. John, I'm willing to give you answers.
No, you're not.
I would love to trade answers. Can we play a game and let's call it trade answers? Do you understand what I'm proposing when I propose the game trade answers? Do you understand what I'm trying to explain here?
Trade answers.
Yeah.
Answers.
So-
Answers. forgot to say only.
So you asked me 2 questions. One of them was about my shoe. I can give you the answer. I have an answer to that
So
question.
the answer to your shoe.
Would you like the
won't
answer?
Put a patch on it or get a new one.
Would you like the answer?
I would like the answer.
I would like to trade answers. So I will ask you a question, and when you answer that, then I'll answer this. Sound
Why
good?
don't you go first?
Is that fair?
Why don't you go first? And
Because John, I have, and you ignored it. That's a good question, and I just answered it, and so there again is evidence of that. Is that when you ask questions, John, I attempt to answer
when
them.
I answer questions, either they're acceptable or unacceptable.
They're answers or they're not. Do you agree that when I ask a question, you can say something that is an answer, and you also can say something that is not an answer? Do you agree?
An answer is an answer.
Okay, and not an answer is not an answer, right? You're saying an answer is an answer, which is true, but it's also true that not an answer is not an answer. Do you agree?
The answer could be the truth or a lie.
But not the answer.
Definition. What you're
but not the answer is still not the answer. The truth can be subdivided into a true answer or the answer.
Could be subdivided.
My apologies, I misspoke there.
You misspoke something? As intelligent as you are, you misspoke. And you
How intelligent are you, John? Do you know your IQ?
I'm not intelligent.
Did you ever get your IQ tested, John?
Have you gotten your... I'm not going to... Yeah.
I have, yes.
Yes, I have.
What's your IQ, John?
I think it's like 86. It's
okay.
Like it's so small and so low on the scale.
You lying to me, John?
Well, it might be 89. It's
John,
80 something. 86 or 89.
Are you lying about this right now?
No, I'm telling the truth.
Okay.
So you can subdivide that truth.
Can I?
I don't know. Can you? You probably can. Smart as you are.
John, if I ask you a question...
IQ? Now I answered yours. What is your IQ?
It's about 138, John.
Wow, that's good. That's pretty high.
It is high, John, isn't it? Very high.
And the problem with people with high IQ...
Tell me the problem with people with high IQs, John.
Is they depend on their intelligence.
Is that right?
And not on their faith or not.
Okay.
I mean, that's wrong.
Okay.
They depend on their intelligence rather than their spirit, I guess you could say.
But John, my spirit is what is intelligence. No, John. No, John. You misunderstand what intelligent is. Thank you, John. I agree. It's very high.
Genius is 200.
No.
190.
No, it's not a real term, John. Genius is meaningless.
I thought genius was at some kind of a level.
Genius is the ability to do something that nobody else has done, John. That is genius. Do you agree?
You're a genius.
John, you're a genius as well, John.
Genius.
John, we are all genii, aren't we, John?
Oh,
genius is meaningless in the context of intelligence, isn't it, John? It just is a number. And what were they measuring, John, when they gave us that number? What were they measuring, John? Do you know?
IQ means intelligent quotient.
Right, but
intelligent quotient.
How did they determine what it was?
They gave you a bunch of questions.
And the questions were designed to
determine your intelligence. How much knowledge?
That's circular. That's circular. Can we get out of that circle? No, it's not. It's in fact not knowledge. That is this completely other thing, John.
Oh, what you've learned.
No, not what you've learned. It's your ability to determine patterns is generally what they do with IQs. Yes.
I didn't know that. Determine patterns. What kind of pattern are they trying to determine?
They're just a bunch of patterns. They put a bunch of patterns down there and they saw who could tell what the pattern was. That was the metric they used, John. Is who could spot patterns. Does that mean anything, John?
It's thought-provoking.
Yeah, but it's practically meaningless, right, John? It means nothing. Right? The difference between 89...
Patterns are important.
Are they, John?
I think so. Patterns are like symbols, and if you understand patterns, then you'll understand symbols. And if you understand symbols, then you may understand some truth. But if you don't understand patterns, you won't understand symbols, and you probably won't understand the truth. And you'll probably be confused, and you won't know the truth. Because the truth won't be around you, won't be in you.
I want an answer from you to this question I'm about to ask you, John. I want an answer. So the question is, John, who killed Bruce Wayne's parents? Who killed Bruce Wayne's parents? The answer, John,
Who's
about
Bruce Wayne?
why there is a hole in my shoe is because I really like Converse, but they're too narrow for my feet. And so if I don't put a hole right there, it really smashes this toe up into the next one, and it's very uncomfortable. So every time I buy new Converse, I put that hole in there intentionally before I even wear them, John. That's why there's a hole in my shoes.
That's a good answer.
Cool. Now,
That sounds reasonable for you.
it is reasonable, John. There's a reason that I did it, and that's what reasonable means. Now, John, who killed Bruce Wayne's parents?
I don't even know who Bruce Wayne is.
Bruce, have you heard of Batman? Do you know then who I'm talking about? Do you know why
No, I
Batman
don't. I
does
still
what he
don't
does?
know who you're talking about.
Yes, I asked you if you know
A
who
lot
Batman.
of different people play Batman in the different movies and in the comics.
I'm not talking about the actors, John. I'm talking about Bruce Wayne.
I still don't know who Bruce Wayne is.
He is Batman.
Who is Batman?
You know who Batman is.
The comic book.
What car does Batman drive?
Well, he drives. Well, we know the Batmobile.
There we go. So you understand what I'm talking about.
Oh, I understand what you're talking
His parents were called Martha and Senior Wayne, okay? They were killed, right?
about. Is that a real name or is that a made-up character name,
Like Voldemort?
Dennis the Menace? You know,
Dennis
it's a
the
made-up
Menace?
name.
That's right.
So,
Like Job?
well, that's a real name.
How do you know? Where did Job live? Where did Job live?
He lived on Earth.
Where? No. What city did Job live in? What city did Job live in? What city?
I don't know. What city did he live in?
Uz, the city of Uz.
right, yeah.
That's right.
UZ.
Yeah, that's right. Why didn't you know that, John? You're just not curious about the city that the perfect man lived in? Was Job?
Perfect man.
Was Job perfect? Let's get it. Let's get the book out. Can you get the book of Job out?
What is the definition of perfect?
What it says in the book of Job. Does it say he was perfect?
Does it?
Let's look. It's right there, isn't it? There it is. Now, did Job really live, or is he fiction?
He really lived.
How do you know that, John? So
I
that's the
believe-
question that I want to ask.
I
I'll
believe-
trade. I will trade any answers for
The
that.
author.
The author of Job?
I believe the author.
Who's the author of Job? Who is the author of Job?
I don't know that.
So you believe a person that you don't know? Am I understanding this
I
correctly?
hope your audience can grasp
How
maybe they can't,
little
but I
research
think
you've
they
done
can,
into this.
that when you ask questions, you don't you lead with your questions.
Okay.
You're you're skilled in
Okay.
the questioning process.
Thank
to
you,
lead
John.
People
That's a very
with
nice thing to
questions.
say to me. I appreciate it. Are
I
you?
can't. No, I can't do that.
Would you like me to teach you how to do it, John?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, watch my videos, John. It's all explained in my videos.
Oh, so you're not going to teach me. You're going to tell me where to go.
Yep. Does that hurt your feelings, John?
No.
Are you mad at me for
Who
that?
you are, that you're
Who
not
am I,
willing to
John?
teach me.
Who I am willing to teach you, John. I have it all down on video, John. You can watch it at double speed. It's much easier to understand at double speed.
Because you have not much to say, you have to double everything up so you can
No,
up out of your.
no, it's because your brain can hear much faster than it can think. And so while I was just sort of rambling it out onto the,
Like you're doing now, rambling.
like every time that you talk improvisationally, every time that you're engaged in an improvisational conversation, that speed is sort of like slower than you can listen. So when it happens real time, you can watch it back at like faster and still comprehend what's going on. Did you understand that sentence, John?
I understood that sentence.
Cool. Do you agree with the things that I said?
Yeah, I agree. It makes sense.
Cool.
Makes sense to my mind because I've read that before.
So,
So how do I know it's true? See, that's the question.
how do you know whether or not Job is fiction?
Makes sense and
How?
true.
Yeah, how?
Because I read it someplace and I tried it out and I find out that
Did you do that with the Book of Mormon? Did you do that with the Quran?
It's true.
Did you do that with the
So
Quran?
how do I know that what I read and tried is true? That's what you're asking.
Yep.
And
and you're saying because you tried
I believe that what I read makes sense to me. So
no, you gave evidence. You said I read it and I tried it out, and that it was true.
And so
is that your reason for believing it?
So does evidence give you validation to believe something is true or not?
Yes.
If there's no evidence, that doesn't mean it's not true.
If there is no evidence, I mean, eventually evidence that it's not there is evidence it's not there. Like, I understand that the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence, but we definitely can find evidence of absence, can't we? Am I on topic,
Would
John?
Would that be a black hole?
John, what did Jesus say about black holes? John, what did...
absent of something?
No, it's not, John. No, that's not at all even close to what it is.
I don't know.
I know. I wish that you would not talk about things that you don't know. I don't know why you would talk about black holes.
I would also agree with that.
So why get on the subject of black holes, dude? You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Something that popped in my head.
Cool. Do you want me to explain to you what black holes are? Or do you want to talk about why we can tell that the Bible is not a true book? Do you want to talk about black holes?
Of black hole?
Is this place where space has distorted such that light cannot go in a certain direction? Like the distortion of space is such that the gravity causes even light to be unescapable. And
gravity in space?
Yeah. Gravity extends through space, yes, and it changes the shape of that space. In fact, John, it sort of like lenses it. Do you care about that? Why? Like, if that could disprove the Bible, would you not believe the Bible? Because it disproves the Bible, dude. The stuff that we just said there, black holes disprove the Bible.
It doesn't disprove the Bible.
All right, what would disprove the Bible, John? Let's talk about that. Would the end of Mark being false disprove the Bible?
That's a good
If I could prove to you that the last verses in Mark didn't belong there, would that disprove the whole of the thing?
What would disprove the Bible?
Yeah, it is a good question.
What would disprove the Bible? What evidence would disprove the Word of God, the Bible, the Holy Book, the Holy Scriptures, the Bible that talks about Jesus and Satan and God, all that stuff?
What would disprove it?
That's my question to you.
Okay, excellent. Well, if we could definitively prove that there was not a global flood, then that would contradict something going on in the Bible. So we could contradict something that happens. Like, if we can show in the Bible that it claims that something happened and then prove that it didn't, that could disprove it. Is that right?
That's right.
How about this? If the Bible claimed that something happened and then later the Bible claimed that something different happened, and both of those things are mutually exclusive, then an internal contradiction would disprove the Bible. Do you agree?
And then at that point,
do you agree with that?
I agree with that.
Cool.
And at that point, I'm going to add to that. That point there, you would say that the Bible, because there's there's thousands of Bibles, and Bible means book. So there, you could be talking about a book that is from some other religion in some other country, or a religion here in America. Or you can be talking about the Christian Bible, Christian book, but of the Christian English books, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different versions. And many, many, many thousands of those versions are wrong. And they are, what you say, not true.
How do you know?
Not true, because of what you just said. They disprove something. They tell a lie.
So,
like one of the Bibles say that Jesus was a liar, and they prove it by the text. So when people read that, they say, well, you see Jesus, I caught Jesus in a lie, therefore he's a liar. Why would I want to believe a liar? And what they don't understand is the book that they're reading is a lie.
But it's the Bible that we're talking about.
The Bible means book.
Right. So if we're saying that the book of Acts,
the fisherman's Bible.
if I'm talking about the book of Acts contradicts the book of
that's a no parking
Matthew.
People want to park.
If I say the book of Acts contradicts the books of Matthew, I've disproved the Bible. Do you agree?
It depends on what Bible you're reading.
A Bible that includes a contradiction between the book of Acts and the book of Matthew.
See, so in the book that I read, there is no contradiction.
Is that right? Let's open it up, because I can think of a contradiction.
You can think of a contradiction?
Yeah. Is that? Yeah. So let's look it up. Would that disprove the Bible?
Brilliance of Mitch's mind thought of a contradiction.
Yeah. What's my IQ?
138.
Thank you. What's your IQ?
About 86.
Excellent. So, so how can we tell if there's a contradiction, John? How can we determine whether or not one sentence contradicts another? Like, if there was a verse that said God can't lie, and then there's a verse where we see God lying, would that be a contradiction?
That would be a contradiction.
So is there a verse that says God can't lie?
Not in my book.
There's not a book, there's not a verse.
Maybe in the Bible that you're thinking of.
Dude, I'm just talking about the Bible you believe in, dude. I'm not proposing any alternate Bibles, dude.
Yeah,
I'm just talking about what you believe is the true Bible.
It is the true Bible.
You believe you understand what the true Bible is, yes?
Yes.
Yes. How did you determine which verses are in it?
Because I found the evidence.
What does evidence look like to you, John?
Evidence looks like, well, what is, so before I answer that, then we have to understand what the definition of evidence is.
My definition of evidence is the stuff that convinced you.
Stuff that convinced me.
Yep.
The stuff that convinced me is
Yep.
a documentation of real people who wrote real stories down and were proven to be correct and real.
Who are those people?
When I saw that,
Who are the people? What people are you talking about?
And then those stories of those
Can we clarify for just a second before you continue with your sermon? Can I just clarify who you mean by they? Like, you're not trying to be very specific. Who were those real people, John?
For specific, you asked for
I was. If you could listen to the things that I was saying while you were talking, I was asking specifically for specifics. Who were those people that wrote things down? What were their names, John? You were like, these people were proven to be true. Who were these people? What did you mean when you said these people? Are you talking about John Mark? So a lot of times what people point to at the end of Mark for evidence that it's not part of the original thing is that he uses a different kind of language than the original author. He uses a different dialect from like a different century and a completely different people. He uses words that weren't invented at the time that Mark wrote it. So it's not just sort of where it turns up, although that's some of the evidence they talk about, is where it is included and where it's excluded, but also, you know, the words he's using and when those words were popular and used.
What words are those? Specifically, since you want specifics.
Would that be evidence? If I could show you which words we're talking about, would that?
Which words are we talking about?
Okay,
you should bring your own King James down.
No, because it's not about the one that I'm trying to sell you, dude. It's not about the Bible. It's about
the Bible?
It's about what you believe and why. What has convinced you? That's what I'm trying to engage with, John.
What I believe in doesn't matter to you.
Oh my God! Why would you say that? What does that sentence mean to you? What did you just intend with that?
I say you don't want to receive it. You don't believe it's true. You believe it's a lie. You believe it's fake. It's phony. It's not true. It's imaginary. It's all made up.
But
it's a fairy
okay,
tale.
so
it's
that's
fantasy.
not what that sentence. What was?
If everything I believe is fantasy to you, why would you even want to do anything? I mean, why would you? I mean, if somebody wants to believe in fantasy,
yeah,
then you have to allow people to believe in that fantasy. You can't make people want to believe the way you believe. Whatever it is, if you believe this or that.
You misunderstand what I'm doing.
Some people believe in the flat earth fantasy. To me, that's
fantasy. And you're going to call them names about it,
and
John?
Other people believe that, no, the earth is round.
Some people believe in the global flood fantasy.
If you want to believe there's a global
Some people believe in a global blood fantasy.
Some believe
global
in
blood,
Mickey
that would be
Mouse
gross. Nobody believes in Mickey Mouse.
And Santa Claus. And
no one believes in Santa Claus, is that correct? Nobody believes in the tooth fairy, is that right, John?
True. There's millions and millions of children who believe in Santa Claus.
Is that right? They believe in them, John?
And even the military, the stupid military, puts it out there on NORAD's tracking Santa Claus.
You're so mad about that.
I think it's kind of funny.
Oh, why were you calling them names then?
People believe it.
Believe it, John? Or are celebrating the holidays? Do people believe in the Easter Bunny, John?
People believe in the Easter Bunny.
Do they?
How can a bunny lay an egg?
You mean some children believe in? Is that what you mean when you say people? You say some children?
They believe in Easter bunnies and tooth fairies, Santa Claus, and all kinds of things. And some people believe
the devil, heaven.
People believe that
Maui fished up the North Island.
That there was what's that one
Their
religion
soul
says
goes
something
on
came
forever.
out of the sun. There's some kind of religion that believes something, a goddess came out of the sun, or something like that. They believe that fantasy.
Yeah, but we're
And
talking
they will
about.
die with it. People die defending.
Yep,
And
and
so
that's
when
tragic,
people
isn't
die
it,
of their
John?
fantasies,
That's a
after
tragic.
they die,
Is that
it's
right?
too late to determine was their fantasy lie or truth.
No, kind of
So
like
once
there's
you
a lot
die,
of
that's
evidence
it. Unless
then.
you think of you're a reincarnation type person. Do you believe in reincarnation?
What do you mean by believe, John?
Do you believe in reincarnation? Do you think reincarnation is true? Or
I
is it a
don't see
lie?
any evidence that reincarnation is true, John, do you?
Of the millions and millions of people who believe in reincarnation, you think they're all liars?
I don't believe there's any evidence to believe in reincarnation.
There
do
is
you?
tons of evidence
Ooh,
that
explain
people
that.
believe in reincarnation.
Like
You
what?
should go to India and preach.
What is the
You'll
best
probably be
evidence?
beheaded
What
in
is the
India.
best
You'll
evidence?
probably be thrown in prison because you don't believe in
What
reincarnation.
are you doing right now, John? What is this? What is the best evidence that people use to defend their belief
I
in
don't know.
reincarnation?
I don't believe that reincarnation is true. But on
Do you think
Wednesday, I
that
talked
there
to a
is
lady
some-
who believes that reincarnation is true.
Mhm.
And she plans to come back in a bicycle. I said, you're kidding me. Oh, I can come back in anything I want.
Did you videotape this? Not what you want. It's
It was
I'm
after
not
my
common
video
to
had already
decide.
been done. She was
You
the
can
one
turn your
going at
camera
it.
back on, John. You don't have to
It's
do
already
this
put
thing.
away.
I know, dude. You're so rigid in your structure, dude. It really
I
is
am
a turn
rigid,
off.
yeah.
Yeah, you
I'm
really need to.
structured.
You really need to go out there and like respond to what's going on around
Why
you
do I have
instead
to
of
do what you want me to do? Can I do what I want to do since it's my show, not your show?
because of how rigid it is, John, and how
That's my show. I want a rigid show.
But it's not engaging with the people. It's not like it's not. It is. It's just.
That's your view. I engage
But
with
it's
people all day
just
long.
write it down. Then write a journal if it's just a journal, John. If you're trying to
This isn't a journal.
if you're trying to communicate to fucking real actual people, then then talk to these people. If you come out here to talk to these people, then talk to them,
Come
John.
out to talk to the people.
I know you came out here to yell at them with your hate sign.
I came out here to lift a banner and pray for them. Pray for their soul. To stand in the gap for their soul. Because
You're not
if
allowed
I
to
don't
do that.
pray for
No,
their
no,
soul
no,
like
no.
I'm praying for your soul.
No,
Mitch.
John, that's
Well, I'm
unbiblical.
going to ask you a question.
Dude, their salvation is their
You said,
responsibility.
and how many times have I been divorced?
Okay, whoa.
Question.
Hold on. I don't want to do
My
the
answer
trick.
to
That's
that
not
was
in my list of
probably zero.
questions. That's not my list of questions.
He's probably married the same woman.
When did I ask that? When did I ask you
was
that?
on one
When
of
did I
your
ask you that?
comments.
Okay, in one of my comments.
Yeah.
How many times have I been divorced, John? How many children do you have, John? How many children do you have, John? How many children do you have, John?
How many times have I been divorced?
What was the
I'm gonna
comment?
ask you.
What was the comment
How many
that?
times you've been divorced?
Can we read that comment? I'll look it up here on the video. Let's read the comment that I was responding to. I hope you're not
I
taking my
would say
comments out
probably
of
zero.
context. How many kids do you have, John? How many kids do you have,
has
John?
no bearing on what
Well,
I'm
I mean,
doing.
that's what the compliment was about. Was someone was criticizing me. They were like, "Oh
that's
man,
right.
I
They
feel
were
so
criticizing
sorry for
about his
Mitch's kids." What? And he said it times, right? He was all like, "Oh, I can't even believe Mitch has kids. Oh, he's got kids. I can't even believe this." John, you have
Say
kids.
that. Said
He
something
did, he
about you
did.
teaching the kids.
Yeah. He has. Imagine the fucking evil that's being done because Mitch was allowed to have kids. How many kids do you have, John?
How many kids you have?
I have 3 kids, John. How many kids do you have?
I have 5.
Excellent. How many times have you been divorced, John?
Once.
Okay. So
Ask how many times I've been married.
I don't think that matters. I
It
think
does matter because some people have been divorced once but married twice. But that means they're still married.
Yeah, but you're not still married. You're divorced.
But how many times have they been married?
I don't care. I care about how many times you've been divorced.
Why would divorce and marriage be something? I mean, they go together. One starts something and one ends something.
That's right. And how many times did you end something?
How many times have you been divorced?
0 times. How many times have you been divorced?
I knew that. I knew it was 0 because of your Mormon background.
No, because my girlfriend and I.
Were you Mormon? Were you born into a Mormon family?
Okay.
Or did you come into the Mormon church
Dude,
late as you grew older?
I will. Let's trade questions. I'll answer those. Let's trade questions. Are you down for trade questions? That's 2 questions.
Because I was older when I joined the Mormon
Oh,
church.
so you didn't even.
I was
That was
about
just.
21.
You didn't even want that answer. You were just. It was leading into like a sermon. Your sermon that you were. But
So were you born into the Mormon church?
do you want the answer?
In a Mormon
Do you want
family?
that answer, or is it just like
It's
rhetorical?
interesting. I mean,
So let's trade questions. Let's ask the questions that we care about. Do you know about the pericope adultery? It's the other thing that's very questionable, much like the end of Mark.
Say that word again.
Pericope adultery.
I've never heard that word.
It's the part of John where the woman taken in adultery is brought before Jesus. Do you know that section?
But why did you call it that funny name?
Because it's the sort of quickest way to refer to that whole section. It's like the name of that story, much like the parable of the sower. If I say the parable of the sower, then I'm referring to like a whole section of a couple books, right? So the pericope adultery is referring to the section in John where the woman is brought before him. That whole section.
I've been doing this for 48 years and I've never heard that term.
Why do you think that is,
so
John?
You're using a term that is unfamiliar with the.
Why do you think it's unfamiliar to you, John?
So when you talk over people's heads like you do so often.
I didn't talk over your head. I explained it to you. John, you asked me questions, and no, it's not about that. It's about communication, John. You're misunderstanding why I'm using these terms. It's about being clear and fostering understanding. It is being clear because when you asked me about what it was.
To me. And if it's unclear, it's muddy. It's not. It doesn't make sense to me. That's why I had to ask you, what's that
John,
word?
the two people that came up here that were very argumentative with me, that were yelling and screaming at me, they were just asking. They were unaware that the last verses of Mark were, and so if
your people enjoying this show, since I'm talking to you so much.
So I was engaging with the conversation you were having. I was talking about the things that you were talking about.
We're engaging,
and then do you take?
Well, I care about.
Do you have ADD? Do you take Ritalin or anything like that? Are you on your medications? Have you asked someone if you need to take a sort of ADD medication, or are you trusting in Jesus to help you with that? Are you on the spectrum, dude? Are you on the autism spectrum? Do you know? When they took your IQ test, did they take that test as well? Because I am. Okay, and we need to take care of it if it's your problem.
I'm fine.
Because I'm autistic. Are you?
Autistic.
Are you? Well, you should go ask someone who would know. Are they enjoying this? Yeah, tons of people are here. Pokemon is here, Filthy Films, JP Jr. Dude, everyone's here. Hi, everybody. Thanks for showing up. Redonk is here. Hello, Redonk. Andreas Castanos is here. Hello, everybody in Mitch. Good to be back with everyone, says Andreas. Redonk says, yes, I'm enjoying the show, John Shuck. I'd enjoy it more if you had a bit more intellectual honesty. You asked what he said, John.
I did.
Okay.
Intellectual honesty.
That's what he says.
That's being as honest as I am.
You remember Redonk, right? You've been in a conversation with Redonk before. He asked you questions before this. Cool.
I remember your name, yes.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so Redonk is back because... Okay, good. I'm glad.
Why would he say I'm not being honest with my intellect?
Because of some of the moves that you're doing, John. Some of the things that you're doing are trying to avoid answering the questions.
Why do people always want to make
You can be you, John. They're just saying, I've noticed that John is a bit intellectually dishonest. You're the one who thinks that you can't be that.
Oh, well, I apologize if I'm coming across dishonest.
No, not coming across, being. Can you be intellectually dishonest without meaning to? JB Jr. says, tell John I said hi. I will.
Hi.
No, I'm not, actually. I'm never going to do that. Hello, John. How's it going, says Andreas. Best question to ask is, okay, let's trade questions. Here's a question from Pokemon. Okay. How do I become Christian?
Believe on the Lord Jesus Christ.
And so that's all that's required, and then someone will be a Christian if they believe on the Lord Jesus Christ?
When you believe on the Lord Jesus Christ, and you actually believe it,
yeah,
Jesus Christ will see that you believe it, and you will be born again.
And before that...
But if you just say those words, and you don't really believe it, you won't be born again. You have to believe it in your heart.
So it's not being baptized, it's not the point of baptism. So all the people who think it is the point of baptism know you're wrong, right? All the true Christians who understand that there's a bunch of verses that are very clear about the idea that one must be born again of water, and that one is not a Christian until they're baptized, they know you're wrong, right, John? And then they don't have to listen to anything else you say.
Okay, that's fine.
Right? Other Christians who've read the Bible and know that you're wrong. Also, there's tons of Christians who have looked into the evidence about the end of Mark, and they've looked into it and they've decided something different from you, John. They've decided that it wasn't originally part of it, and they believe that God has told them that, John, and so because of that, they know you're wrong. They know that you're not actually following the one true God of all reality, because you got a different question or a different answer, and that's impossible, right, John?
You know what? I don't care.
Why would you not care about that?
Because I can't force people to believe what I believe.
But the thing is, they believe the truth, and you believe what's wrong.
To choose whatever they want to choose. I don't care what they do.
You are completely avoiding the point of the of the story, John. It's not about whether or not they're...
I'm not trying to.
I know, but I'm alerting you that you have, without trying, misunderstood the entire point of the metaphor. Or maybe example. Maybe it wasn't even a metaphor. No, my point in explaining it to you. You're trying to say that what they're believing is wrong. I'm not saying you're trying to force anybody. You are.
You can believe whatever you want to believe. If you think it's the truth,
dude, you just did it. You just did it. Okay, John, hold on. John, hold on, dude. I'm trying to explain this thing that you just keep on doing. So I ask you one question, and you answer a question that's not that question, okay? Because I'm not asking you, are these people allowed to believe whatever they want?
Yes.
I'm not asking that. Why would you answer it? I just specifically said...
Sorry. Sorry, guys. That was the question.
So I'm not asking. I'm not asking.
Hear that word. Sorry.
Okay, let me
comprehend that word.
But I did say it.
You did say it.
Okay.
I remember it.
Now, what I am asking is what these people believe false?
Is what they believe false?
That's the question I am asking.
What they believe false?
Yes.
Well, I have to kind of give a little bit of... If they want to believe what's false, then that's okay.
You just did it! Like, literally, I cannot believe you just did it! You just did it again, dude! So the question I'm not asking is, are they allowed to believe whatever they want? That is not the question I'm asking. That's not the question I'm... Oh, God, John, are you doing this on purpose? Are you doing this on purpose?
Okay. I struggle.
Okay. John, you believe things, right? You believe things. Is that true?
I believe things.
Cool. One of the things that you believe is the last verses in Mark are scripture. Is that true? Okay.
That's true.
And if they don't believe that, okay, well, first of all, is that belief true? Are you right?
I'm right.
So you have a belief and it's a true belief. Some people, maybe this person, believes that the book of Mark, the last verses, are not scripture.
That's correct.
They might believe that.
That's correct.
Is that belief true?
That's a difficult question.
Is it?
If I tell them it's not true, then I'm forcing my belief on them.
No, you're not.
And I don't want to force my belief onto somebody else. If they want to believe it's true, then fine. People believe lies are true.
You just said it. Okay, you just said that it is a lie. You just said it's not true. When you said they're allowed to believe lies, you implied that what they believe is not true. But you did, John. You just want to not. You did do that thing. You just pretended you did it. Kind of like when you put hate speech on a banner and raised it up, you pretended you weren't yelling. Right, so what is the difference between truth and opinion, John?
2 billion.
You brought up opinion now.
There are 2 billion people who don't believe this is hate speech.
And are they right or wrong in that belief?
Does it matter?
Yes.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Because people like you
want
to force their belief on
No, John, you do not understand what I want. You are straw-manning me. When did I say I want to force my belief on people?
That's what you're doing here. You're doing that to me.
That's what you're doing to all these people, John. You're doing it here. You're forcing your belief on these people with your sign. Your sign is forcing your belief. Do you see?
Believe that God is not
do you not see?
I
want you to believe in truth. I want you to believe in truth, John. Is that what you want?
Believe in truth.
Yes.
You want me to believe this stuff.
I want you to believe things that are true.
It's true.
No. I don't want you to believe what I believe because I think it's true. I want you to believe what's true independent on whether I believe it's true or not. Do you understand?
But I believe the truth.
Do you understand the thing I just said? What did I just say to you?
What you just said is a confusing statement.
Okay, let me simplify it then, John. I don't care if you believe what I believe, John. What I want you to do is believe...
I don't care if you don't believe what I believe.
...things that are true. I want you to believe things that are true, John. Even if they're not things I believe. Can you say that?
You putting words in my mouth?
No, I'm saying it's true for me.
Say that? It's putting
I'm
words
saying,
in my
is it
mouth?
true for you? I'm saying it's true for me, it's true for you. You just parroted a thing that I said, and then I continued the thought and finished it, and then you were like, why are you putting words in my mouth? You were stealing words out of my mouth. What are you even talking about, John? John, I want you to believe in truth, whether it's what I believe or not. What's your name?
I bless you, sir.
My name's Mitch, this is John. Did you say Travis?
Two sides.
Yeah.
How you doing, man?
Need help.
What do you need?
Prayer.
O Creator of all reality, please do look down upon your creation here. Please give it the strength and the will to give what it can to this world, to change this world into that world that it wants it to be. Tell your child here that you have given them the power and the love and the responsibility to affect reality. He is a free agent in this reality. Support your creation, O Creator, with your love and intent. In the name of truth, in the name of love, in the name of flying spaghetti monster, amen. Stay warm, my man. Be safe. So now do you know what I mean when I say pericope adulterae?
I can't even pronounce that word.
You don't have to pronounce it to understand it. Do you understand what I mean when I say pericope adulterae?
What I mean is you're referring to a passage in the scriptures.
Which passage specifically?
I think you said you're referring to
the woman taken in adultery.
Woman taken in adultery, yeah.
So,
that's the story where the woman was taken in adultery, was put before Jesus, and Jesus didn't answer, and he wrote in the sand. And,
he wrote in the sand.
Yeah, Jesus wrote in the sand, and he that has this sin cast the first stone or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the story.
That is the story.
And then then he wrote a second time, and eventually all kind of left. And then he says, "Where's your accusers?" He says, "I don't accuse you either. Go and sin no more."
All of that is internal to that story. The pericope adultery, the woman taken in adultery. All of that was also added to the Bible at about the same time as the end of Mark. They have kind of a similar history.
Oh.
Have you ever heard that?
How do you know that to be true?
That's a good question. What is good evidence that that's true?
Of that?
That's a good question. What is the evidence it's not?
I'm learning from you, man.
Oh, no.
You keep talking,
I thought you tried as hard as you could to
communicate to somebody intelligent like yourself that is so filled with confusion. An intelligent man filled with confusion.
What is good evidence
difficult
that it was not original?
To. That's why normally I don't talk to people like you, but you talk a lot, so.
Yeah.
And I feel pretty good today. I've been working pretty hard this week, so I should have had breakfast though, but I didn't have time to have breakfast. I work hard.
Do you know yeah, you work hard, yes.
Long hours.
There's a saying called work smart, not hard. You ever heard that?
I try to work as smart as I possibly can, and that sometimes is not too smart.
It would be smart if you edited things out of your videos, so that way you could pause your video and then interact with the people coming up.
I don't want to edit.
I know. You don't want.
I don't know.
You don't want to be good at YouTube.
Of that, but
yeah, you do know, John. You do know.
So let me ask you a question.
Yep.
So you think because people come to me all through the day.
You stand in people's way all through the day. Yes, I agree. I agree. You came to those people, but yes, continue your story. I disagree about the way you framed it, but continue your story. I'm excited for the next part.
And so you're saying I should cut the video and put people in it and then restart it again?
I'm saying when you're sitting here and you have this whole script in your head and you're talking to the camera and you're like, blah, 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 let's close part 3 and start part 4. And someone walks up to you and says, hey, bro, how you doing? You'd be like, oh, wait. And you just spend some time talking to whoever it is and be like, oh, I'm doing great. How are you? How has God worked in your life? Oh, that's amazing. Okay, yeah, bye. And then you turn back and you think to yourself, where was I? And then your magic Jesus guy will make you feel in your heart exactly where you were. And then you just go right back onto your script like you were. And then you take that video home, you cut that middle part out, And nobody even has to know. Like, it's not interrupting if you have the power of editing. Have I explained that to you? Is that a good enough answer for you, John? It's a good faith answer. Do you agree that's a good faith answer to your question?
I don't agree with that, but that's not my definition. Our definitions are different.
Well, then let's talk about what...
When you ask me a question, I'm telling you from my definition standpoint.
Cool, then let's use your definition of what a good faith conversation is. You said you have an alternative definition for what good faith is, right?
Good and faith are two words, and each one has definition.
Right, but I'm not talking about them separate. I'm talking about them together. When I say people are having a good faith conversation, or they're having a conversation in bad faith. Well, my definition, even though you've already told me that I have the wrong definition.
No, you don't have the wrong
definition. You've literally already told me that it is.
You just don't receive any. You just think that everyone's trying to push their belief on
you think that telling these people that you understand what truth is not telling them that they don't. Right?
Your audience can believe whatever they want to believe.
I know, even if it's wrong, right? So they're allowed to believe things that are not true. They want to
believe in a, quote, spaghetti monster, which...
Even though it's not true, is what you're saying, right? Because you know...
It's really true.
What is true?
A spaghetti monster is true.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a real thing.
So, when I say... in answer... Dude, you are not even...
And that's the name of that spirit.
So how can we tell if the woman, if the story, how can we tell if the story of the woman taken in adultery? What's not real?
You're telling
what?
Spaghetti monster. You said it's not real.
I say it's not real. I'm saying it's an answer to a question. What's real? This world was created by something.
No, the spaghetti monster.
You don't understand what the spaghetti monster is, I think. What do you mean when you say spaghetti monster? Is it?
Yep.
Then what is it? What is meant when they say spaghetti?
The title of that spirit. And people put their faith and trust or their belief or their whatever, and they title themselves,
John,
I'm a preacher of the spaghetti.
Nobody. John, you do not understand.
FSM, what does those letters mean again?
They mean the flying spaghetti monster.
Flying spaghetti, FSM. Flying
John, do I believe in the flying spaghetti monster?
I am under the impression that you do because.
Why are you under that impression,
and you
John?
You have it on your shirt.
Well, it's on my shirt to communicate an idea.
An emblem of the spaghetti monster.
Yes.
Flying spaghetti.
Do I believe in Mickey Mouse, John? Do I believe in Mickey Mouse? Do I believe that he is non-fictional? No. Do I believe that Mickey Mouse is a non-fictional character?
But.
Would I have to believe that Mickey Mouse is a non-fictional character to wear a shirt with Mickey Mouse on it, John? Do you understand the question, John?
No, because
there were too many syllables in the sentence. My apologies, John.
Unintelligible.
I don't think it was, John. I don't think it was unintelligible.
Because it's a leading question, and you're leading me.
Meow.tk is here. Hello there, Meow.
You won't let me answer the way I want to answer.
I want you to answer like the question that I asked. I want you to answer it in a way that is an answer and not in a way that is not an answer. Do you understand? If I ask a question and you say something afterwards, the thing you say could be an answer and it could be not an answer. Do you agree? If I say,
you determine yourself based on your belief.
Well, I'll give you a definition of what I mean by it.
Not an answer.
I'll give you a definition by what I mean. Like if I say what is your shoe size, right? What I'm asking for is like a very specific piece of information of like out of the shoe sizes, which one is the size of your shoe? And so if you were to say something like orange, then what that would be?
That's a non-answer.
A non-answer. You understand? And so when
it is an answer, it's just not the answer to that question.
No, it is not an answer. It is an evasion.
What color is the orange?
It is the next thing that you said. It was not an answer to the question. Maybe it's an answer to another question. Maybe that is true.
But it's not an answer to the question that you asked.
That's correct. So when I ask a question,
it's not a non-answer.
And then you say something, and I say that was not an answer to my question, that's what I mean, John.
Well, then say what you mean.
I do, John.
But I'm saying it's a non-answer.
I'm saying that's not an answer, which is what I mean. It is not an answer to my question. What way should I say it such that it communicates that idea, other than the way that I'm attempting to?
Okay, so what are you asking again? What is your audience asking?
What is my audience asking?
Your audience at work? I mean, this is a Friday afternoon. It's 1 o'clock.
Dude, don't question my audience. They come and watch when they can watch, dude.
That's true.
What about your audience? Do they ever watch at work, John? Oh, geez, you're accusing my audience of bad behavior. You are, John. You are, and then you pretend you're not, and then you just wish that you hadn't.
I'm just wondering what.
How does John know that Christianity is right, and i.e. Hinduism isn't? So let's first of all talk about this question before you answer, because John, you are asserting here that Christianity is not just a belief that people can believe, it's a true belief. And that Hinduism is not just a belief that people can believe, it's a false belief. Are you saying that, John?
No.
You're not asserting that?
Nope.
So you're saying you don't know whether or not Hinduism is false.
Hinduism is a true belief in what they're believing.
What does that mean, John?
It means what they believe in is what they believe in.
And is what they believe in true? Is what they believe in true, John?
Then you'd have to ask the question.
Look, I did.
What is truth?
Yeah, what is truth,
Define
John?
What is truth?
What is truth, John?
That's what, that was asked of Jesus.
What is
truth?
So I'm asking you, John, what is truth?
Now, my definition of truth is not the same as yours, or maybe the guy driving down the car in that California.
What is your definition of truth,
So
John?
my definition of truth is the Word of God. The Word, Jesus Christ, the Son of God. That's
So your
truth.
definition of truth is Jesus.
Christ, the Son of God. Let's be very specific.
What if somebody had a definition of truth that
Was different?
was different than that? Would their definition of truth be
It
true?
would be different than mine.
Uh-huh. And
So
who
if
would
you
have
don't
the
believe in
true
my
definition?
Then you still have belief. But what you believe in is Satan.
If
He
you
was a deceiver.
if there were two
But
different
that means-
definitions
but
of
Satan
truth,
is true. Satan
would
is
that
real.
necessarily mean
It's
that
not
one
a
of those
made-up
definitions
fantasy.
was not
Satan
true?
is not fantasy.
Satan is
a
fantasy.
Real angel.
Just like Noah. Satan is fantasy like Noah and Moses and Abraham.
All that's
It's
not
fiction.
true, really.
It is, yeah, really. Like,
Is King Herod real?
yeah, King Herod's real.
Why would you say he's real? And is Jesus, the man Jesus, is he real?
Is
The carpenter's son?
Peter Parker real?
I don't know what that is.
Oh my God.
So I
Is
asked you a
Bruce
question.
Wayne real? Is Bruce Wayne real?
I don't know who Bruce Wayne
We
is.
talked about it in this conversation, in this very
I've never
conversation
met him. I don't know
today.
who he is.
We
I've never
talked
even
about.
seen his name anywhere.
Is Voldemort real?
Baltimore, the city?
Voldemort?
I don't know who that is either.
Is Frodo real?
I don't know what that is. Now, the man Frodo, that's a family.
Is
Man
Hercules
Frodo
real?
Is a family.
Is Hercules real?
Are they real? Do you know if that family that had the man Frodo, are they a real family? See, how do you know they're a real family? See, that's the goofy questions you ask.
Goofy?
Yeah, they're mixed up. They're full of confusion.
So you don't know how we determine whether
Because
something's
I
real or
saw
not?
the Manfrotto family on film. I saw them. The husband and wife and the children. But a lot of people say, no, that's just a made-up name.
Is Socrates real?
Socrates is a real man
He really lived?
how
What's
do
your
you-
evidence that Socrates
but-
really lived?
because of his writings.
Socrates didn't write anything, dude.
Well, okay.
Well, okay, what? How do you know
Okay,
Jesus
then I
lived?
don't
Because
know
of his
he's real.
writings? Jesus didn't write anything. How do we know that Jesus is real?
I hope your audience. No, I don't care.
You don't care about my audience? Did you hear that, guys?
I'm
Sorry
always
about that.
asking that,
And you
but
said it
you-
right to their face.
I know,
That's so
but-
messed up. You're just so rude to my audience whenever you
I
can.
don't want to be rude. I want to
Then
be
stop. Then please stop it.
'Cause I
If you don't want to be rude, please stop
Stop what?
being rude.
I'm not being rude.
You just turned to my audience and you were super rude to them.
Ask your audience, was I rude to them?
Audience, was John rude to you? Ask them yourself. They're looking right at you, John. Turn and you say, Redonk, meow.tk. Was I just rude?
I don't even know where the camera is. Is this the camera? Oh, it's off now.
Ah, shit.
Oh.
Fuck.
No one's watching you guys anyway.
Is anybody watching you?
I'm not on camera.
Cool. You really make me feel so embarrassed about doing this. You really got me. You understand what's going on. You're very smart.
Oh, you infringe on so many people.
What do you do, John?
I'm just standing there.
Just standing there?
Just standing there.
Dude, I wasn't even talking to that douche.
Stop sign is just standing there.
Yeah. It's not like doing a job.
It's making
It's not imposing its will on all these people.
It's like the flag and the Union Station travel by train.
Do you have an SD card? John? No? Oh, come on, dude. You don't have one on you in your bag over there?
I don't use one.
Let me borrow an SD card. What do you use for your thing?
It's just my phone.
You don't have like a memory card on your phone?
Nope. Not that I know of.
So do you download the video and then like put it on your computer, or do you just do all your editing in your phone? Do you delete it out of your phone?
And edit it on iMovie.
And do you know how to cut a piece out? And why don't you do that to the section where I was talking to you?
Well, in my video, you'd know why.
Because you just
I
one
tell
day
people.
decided not to, and then you have convinced yourself that that's what Jesus wants
USB
from you.
card's full.
One of them is, yeah, I gotta go get another one now.
I won't be here till 5.
Why?
Because that's my structured schedule.
Who structured that schedule, John?
The God that I serve.
How did he do that? How do you know if that schedule is man-made or God-made?
By evidence.
What is good evidence that it is man-made?
Evidence that I could see.
Just evidence, you know,
Evidence.
that you could, that's evident. Any evidence that is like evident. Yeah.
Obvious.
You know, something that you could use to determine the difference between whether it was one case or the other. So like, let's say that it's either daytime and nighttime. What evidence would we use to determine which one it is? Can you see through my simple example here, John?
Too simple.
Too simple. It makes you embarrassed to answer it?
Demeaning.
Oh man, I was trying to just talk to someone with a 90 IQ, and instead I've hurt your feelings and demeaned you.
Instead it's an 86.
Cool. Well, I do not think that the scale is very accurate in the sort of ones. I think it's accurate maybe up to the 20s. I don't think we really need to determine the difference between
20 years of
80
age.
and 85. What? What does age have to do with it, John?
I don't know what does it have to do?
I don't know, dude. You brought it up. I'm trying to understand why you brought it up. I'm trying to
I
communicate.
didn't bring up age.
What did you say then? I misheard you. Can you please repeat that thing that you said? Can you please, John, repeat the thing that you just said?
I don't know what I just said. So I can't repeat it.
So you weren't even listening to that stuff you were saying?
No,
Do you
I'm
often not
really
listen to the
listening
stuff that you
because
just
you're
say?
rambling in my
Oh,
ears.
I'm rambling? You're the one who said you weren't
Full of
listening to what you were
confusion.
saying. I'm confused as to what evidence you used, whether to determine whether your structure was God-made or man-made. Are you still on that thought? What did you say, John?
Kind of early.
What's early? Early for what, John? Why are you saying that again? You said that an hour and a half ago. Why did you go back to that? Why do you go back to old notes, dude? Roll into the future, man. Like,
Into the future.
yeah, like tomorrow is a different day than yesterday, dude. Why are you so afraid of it?
And tomorrow's a different day from
Yeah. Why are you so excited about making tomorrow look exactly like yesterday, dude? Why? Why are you so horny for the status quo? How could you tell whether or not the pericope adultery was added later? How could you tell? What evidence would you look for if God was trying to explain it to you the whole time and he hasn't been able to get through to you because you're so prideful in your ways?
Why do you need an answer?
Because...
Why would you even ask that question?
Because why would I want to believe that something that is not Scripture is Scripture? It is the difference between... I want to know whether the pericope adultery is or is not Scripture. I do.
You know the answer.
I know the answer. Yes, because I have researched it, John, and I have concluded about the truthfulness. That's right. And you have not done any research. Yeah, I do have evidence. What is good evidence? Yes, yes, John, yes.
Therefore, you are stuck on that.
No, therefore I believe it because the evidence causes me to believe it.
But if the evidence was a lie...
Oh, okay, excellent. How can we tell if evidence... yes, if the evidence...
A non-evident event.
That's true. So how do we determine whether evidence is lies? What a good wrench you've thrown into it. It is a good question. Have you ever asked yourself, how do we determine whether the evidence for the inclusion or exclusion of the last verses of Mark are a lie? How do we determine whether they're true, John? How can we tell whether the last verses of Mark are or are not gospel?
We would go to evidence that points to evidence that points to evidence that points to evidence, to eventually you come to the source, and you find that the source was correct and true. Therefore, all the other stuff leading up to where you are is also conclusive of being true.
If the last verses of Mark contradicted something else in the scriptures, would that be good evidence that they're not divine? If there was a contradiction in the last verses of Mark?
So you say there is, and I say there is.
I didn't
not.
say there is. I didn't say anything. I asked you a question. If you could fly, and then you're like, you say I can fly. No, I said if you could fly. And then you're like, you're saying I can. Do you understand, John, that that's not what I'm saying? I'm saying if there was a contradiction in the last verses of Mark. Or is go fuck yourself. If you go suck a dick. If there was a contradiction in the pericope adulterae to the rest of the book of John, would that be proof that...
You're so nasty to people.
Yeah, people who are nasty to me.
Degrading.
Yeah, when people do it to me, I do it back, John. Yeah. I treat people the way they're treating me. Yeah.
So nasty.
They treated me nasty, John. They ignored me. They talked to you and not to me. They didn't engage with the thing that I said. They treated me nasty, John. They took time out of their busy schedule to walk by and show me that they ignored everything that we said before, and they have determined that I was yelling and screaming, and therefore I am the bad guy, instead of listening to the thing that I said. They were nasty to me, John, and so I was nasty back to them, John. Much like you're being nasty to all these people with the sign, and so I'm being because nobody listens to that, John, because I tried being polite, John, and people get to ignore you when you're polite, and when you're not polite, John, they cannot ignore you. Is that a good answer to your question? No.
They weren't nice to me, so now I gotta be mean to them.
No, and I didn't say they weren't nice to me. I said I was ignorable, John. I didn't say anything about being nice. I said when you're not nice, you're not ignorable. John, did you notice that you're not ignoring me? Have you noticed how much you're not ignoring me? Yeah. Do you know why you chose not to? Because of my vulgarity, John. If I was nice to you, you would have ignored me a lot more than you have.
No, I will ignore you when you become vulgar. And
John,
pretty vulgar.
I've been vulgar this whole time because what I'm saying, John, is that you believe in mythology and that you are a fool. And I've been saying it the whole time. And you feel like that's vulgar, John. So my very existence is vulgarity to you, John.
Yeah, and I think you get this way when you get tired.
No, John, no.
Because you're getting tired.
No, John, I'm not getting tired.
Because you've yawned, you've got...
John, I yawn all day long, John.
And you're getting tired.
John, I have kids, John. And I actually took care of them instead of hid away from them in a van at weeks at a time. How often were you gone, John, while you were doing your thing? How often did you avoid your parental responsibilities to be at home with your children? I'm actually a parent, John, so I know how exhausting it is instead of an absent parent like you. So this doesn't exhaust me at all because I've raised kids, John. Is that vulgar, John? Was I vulgar to you? Was I nasty to you just now, John? I said it so politely, though.
What is polite?
You tell me, John. Is it standing here, raising a sign, telling people they're hellbound? Is that polite? Telling them that the things... It sure does, John. Nope. It implies it.
Can you see the word hell
It
on
implies
my
it. Jesus Christ.
Can you see the word hell on either side?
Savior.
It doesn't say it on either side.
Yes, it implies it, John. It implies it.
It's implied to you, but it's not implied to others.
The word savior implies they need to be saved from something, John. What is it they need to be saved from?
A lawyer saves somebody from going to jail.
John, what do they need to be saved from? What is Jesus Christ saving people from? What is implied when you say that everyone needs Jesus Christ as their savior? What are they being saved from? What is Jesus Christ saving them from? What are you saying they need saving from? What is implied with the idea that they need saving, John? What is implied? Is hell implied? Is hell implied that they need to be... I know when
you get tired because you ramble.
No, John, I'm getting to the point that you said hell is not implied with your sign, and I'm saying the idea that Jesus Christ needs to save these people is an implication that hell is in your sign. Oh, it is an implication of hell in your sign. Do you see that it's not a ramble? It was to the point that you made?
It's an answer.
No, it was not a ramble. It was an argument to the point that you made. Poor job at what? What am I doing here?
Put words in the guy's mouth.
What words did I put in? You don't even know what's going on here. Why don't you walk on?
He's really
Yeah, just
nasty,
walk along.
so don't listen to him.
You don't know what's going on. You don't understand this at all. You can just walk on. We don't have to take any more of your time.
Maybe I studied religion.
Oh, you do study religion? We got a theologian here, John. Hey, do you know the last verse of Mark? Look, it's written on my hand. The last verses of Mark. Are you aware of the controversy that's going on with the last verses of Mark? What's your name, dummy? What's your name? I'm Mitch. This is John.
You're very offensive.
So are you. You offended me. So are you.
Which you're thinking.
You told me all the things that you judge. You said that I'm doing it wrong. That's pretty judgmental. Well, you're hypocritical too. I've kind of illustrated it here. What's your name, coward? I'm Mitch.
Mitch.
You study religion? What is the controversy involved in the last verses of Mark? So maybe we study religion a bit more than you, and you should walk on because you don't know what you're talking about.
You know one thing?
No, no, I
6
just...
books in a Bible.
Some Bibles? What book? What Bibles don't have 66 books in them?
There are 66 books.
In some Bibles?
There's a lot to know about every religion.
That's right. And I study it and you don't. And you walked up here and you said that you study it. You have a belief about religion and you think you're right. But you don't study religions. Yeah, I can. You can't. You've studied your religion a little bit.
I guarantee you this.
Oh, good. Go ahead.
I tried to prove that Jesus did not die and rose. And I tried.
Cool.
I tried. I tried for a year.
Oh,
I couldn't do it.
Would you like me to show you how to do it? Cool. If there's a contradiction...
Why don't I tell you why I believe?
No. Why don't I tell you why you shouldn't and you listen to me and you listen to that?
I want to hear what you believe. What do you actually
I believe there's contradictions in the New Testament.
There's definitely...
Am I right or am I wrong?
You can get puzzled. Yes.
Okay. I believe that the contradictions in the New Testament prove it's not divine. Am I right or am I wrong?
You're gonna talk in circles.
No, I'm talking straight to the point. I'm just proving his book.
Red letters? Did it really bother you?
No.
It didn't, did it?
Did you answer my question?
He was one cool hippie, right?
What? What are you talking about?
And maybe he was born that.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Jesus. I'm talking about in red letters. Do you remember? Did something really upset you?
No.
Because there's parts of the Bible I don't, I wrestle.
Are there contradictions in the New Testament?
Yeah.
Yeah? Are the contradictions in the New Testament evidence that it's not so? Is that evidence that it's not divine?
No.
No? A contradiction in the New Testament
Is there anything perfect?
is yes, there is something perfect.
Jesus' writing bothers me.
Is there anything perfect?
That's the only thing.
Is there anything perfect? Do you believe there's anything perfect? Is there anything perfect? Do you have an answer to the question you asked me?
Close, but no.
No, there's nothing perfect? John, oh, see, John knows you're wrong.
Jesus,
John, is there anything perfect?
No, I'm not. Listen.
Oh, okay. Why don't you walk on? You don't know what you're talking about. I've given you so many escapes to this conversation, dude. Why don't you just take it and walk along? Because you're an idiot and you don't know what you're talking about. You're involved in shit that's way out of your depth, and just move along with your day, bro. Stop wasting my time with your layperson nonsense.
I don't care.
What do you mean you don't care?
You don't scare me, man.
I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to invite you to just walk on with your day. Because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And that scares you?
And fuck up agnostic people, man.
You don't know what you're talking about. You believe in a thing that your mom... Oh my God. Oh my God. You used to be me? You used to go out and oppose street preachers for 7 years on YouTube? Please give me your link. I very much would like to see your videos. Oh, yeah. Why don't you just move on with the rest of your day, dude? Like, I'm sure you're an adult with responsibilities. Why don't you just move along?
I just felt like I'm supposed to be here.
You're not.
Because you're kind of just beating up the guys.
What do you mean by beating up?
You're verbally.
What do you mean? Verbally?
Like, yeah, you're verbally.
Yeah. And then what are you going to do about it?
I'm not going to do nothing.
Yeah, oh, yeah? You're not going to, like, talk about, like, violence and stuff? You're not going to equate my behavior to violence?
I'm definitely
to excuse your...
Peter, so, yeah.
Yeah, see ya. Bye.
No, that's good.
How do you know that the last verses in Mark are divine? What is your evidence for that?
If I was to read the last verses.
Some of the pages are kind of loose in there.
You don't carry a Bible with you? Is the Bible
I haven't
divine?
opened the Bible in 2 or 3 years.
Well, maybe you should move on with your day, dude.
Why?
Because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You haven't opened the Bible in 3 years. Maybe because you haven't opened the Bible in 3 years, you are kind of out of practice.
Oh, I'm definitely out of practice, bro.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you this.
Oh, more guaranteeing. I'm so excited.
Let's
Guarantee
go.
me.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I want to know what you believe.
I believe that there's contradictions in the New
Okay,
Testament.
that's fine, but what do you believe?
I believe those contradictions prove that the Bible is not divine.
Okay.
Okay. So that's what I believe.
Okay.
You wanted to know what I believe, so I told
So
you.
there's a couple of areas you got a problem with.
Yeah.
Yep, same here.
Okay, cool. So I believe that we have enough evidence to convince ourselves that the Bible is human-made, just like the Quran and the Book of Mormon. I'm glad you agree with me.
No. So then, after the Lord had spoken to me, he was sent that he would and sent me to write them.
Oh.
Which every and confirming the word, sign, the last line you said?
No, the last, 12 verses?
He's saying from 9 to 20, starting from verse 9 where you just started at. Modern Bibles take that out.
This is where, there's Roman history to go along with the history of the Bible, okay? And the point being, when I read like 20 books. I was a social science teacher, okay? I mean, Can
you just move along with your day?
No, dude, I'm not.
You're just talking rambling horse
I
shit.
just want you to be open.
You're just wasting my time here. I have a job to do, and you're distracting me.
So
can you fuck along?
When
you just
put
off?
somebody there to guard, they can't to guard.
See, when the Asgardians walked across the Rainbow Bridge,
listen,
you don't know what you're talking about.
Dude, man, listen.
Why should I listen to some dipshit that doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about?
Why would? First of all, the Roman guards, they got up and left. Was one thing. Just some.
Who says who? Who said that? Who said that?
It's in Roman history.
Roman history is that the Roman guards got up and left?
I forgot what they're called. What were they? Centurions?
And so in Roman history...
It's like a platoon. And if they ever left their station, they got screwed over. They got killed. One of the bigger things was, why would all these guys who just denied him?
Do you understand that the oldest manuscripts do not include those last verses of Mark?
3 days later, they're out broadcasting this stuff with boldness and zeal that maybe quite possibly they saw something.
Do you know that the Mormons saw something in their temple and then the next day they went out with zeal and broadcast that thing? Don't you think that's evidence that they saw something? That the Mormons actually saw the angels they were talking about?
Mormons may have. I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't.
And you don't know whether or not they saw Jesus either. You don't know. You have just decided to believe one because your mommy told you. She said you're going to be a good boy if you believe the Bible.
Wrestle with it. Why did these guys? They denied him. They didn't even want to.
What year was the Book of Mark written? What year was the Book of Mark written?
40, 60 years.
John, what year was the Book of
Christ.
Mark written?
40,
John,
60 years.
What year?
Christ.
Is he right?
60.
40 to 60 years? Okay. And you trust it? Where was it written? Where was the Book of Mark written?
Because back then.
Where was the Book of Mark written? Where?
It was told.
Where?
It was told.
Where was it told?
It was.
Where?
He's gonna. He
First.
talks some confusion.
Jerusalem? Was it in Jerusalem that the Book of Mark was written?
Who knows where?
We know where. Not you. You don't know. Yeah, we know where they were written.
There was more than 4 Gospels.
Yeah, why did we just settle on 4? How do we know that the other Gospels are not divine? Maybe we've missed some.
You have to make choices.
Hey, do you know in the book of 1 Galatians he talks about a letter he already wrote? Is that right? Is that right, John? In 1 Galatians, Paul talks about how this is his second letter. Is that right? Do I understand
biggest
that?
thing
Do I understand that correctly,
The
John?
book of Isaiah
You don't know?
was 600 years before Christ ever came.
Is that right?
Yeah.
600
Why
years?
don't you read Isaiah 52?
Oh, it claims to be written
And
600
see
years.
and see if
Was it
that-
written 600 years before, or did it claim to be written 600 years before? And it was actually
It was
written
that's
close,
better. That's easy.
closer to.
That's
When was the
easy.
book
That
of
was
Moses
written
written? When was the book of
Babylon.
Moses written? When was the book of Moses written? When were those 5 books written, John? What year of the world? You don't know? I do.
1,000.
Oh, yeah? Oh, okay. What's your evidence that the book of Moses was written thousands of years?
How do you know that what you know is true?
How do you know, John, that what you know is true?
Because you state.
Because
that
the
you
one
know
true
the
creator of
absolute-
all things has told me in my
say
heart
you
that it's
know the
true.
absolute
Personal
truth.
revelation, John, is my
So
answer.
how do you know
Personal
that that's true?
revelation, John.
Personal
The one true
revelation.
creator of all reality gave me
Showed
a
up in your
feeling in
bedroom
my
and said,
heart,
I am the
a
one
warm
true
feeling
God.
in my heart that told me that
You
it was
had a
true.
feeling in your heart.
Yes, it's called his warm noodly appendages, John, and it is proof that the thing that I just read is true, and that's how I knew that the Bible was false, is because I asked the one true creator.
Who's the one true creator? Who was?
What do you mean by who? I'm just saying the thing that created all things, the one true creator. What do you mean by who?
I'm asking you.
The creator of all things is the one true creator. That's yeah. And that thing.
That's a big question mark to you.
No, it's not a question mark. It's the thing that created all things. It's an answer to a question. The question is, what created all things? The answer, the one true creator. And that being touches me in my heart and communicates things to me. For example, he communicated to me that contradictions in the Bible prove it's not divine.
Who is the one true creator?
Oh my God, I just explained all of this, John. I just explained quite clearly that the one true creator is that which created all things.
And what happens if that true creator
Yes?
lies?
That's a good question, John. What would happen if that one true creator lied?
It would be called a lie.
Yeah,
And he would be called a liar.
right.
And since he's a liar, he's called the father of lies, since he's the one true creator.
Because he
And
created
the
all
father
things.
of
He
lies
created truth
is
and
Satan.
lies.
And
No.
he was
Where did
a
you get that,
liar
John?
From the beginning.
Where did
when
you
he
get
was
that, John?
created. So
Where did you get
one
that,
true
John?
creator is
Where'd you get
actually
that?
a
You're adding
created
tons of
being.
things to this, John, that I
All
disagree
Bible.
with. Yeah, but the Bible is not true,
Would you
John.
be open to listen? Read.
Are you open to listen to the stuff that I'm talking about? Okay, cool. If there's a contradiction in the Bible, does that prove it's not divine? If there's a contradiction in the Bible, does that prove it's not divine? Are you open to the idea that a contradiction in the Bible proves that it was not written by the one true creator of all
I don't fit in
things?
the Christian box.
Are you open to the idea
Yeah.
that a contradiction in the New Testament proves that it's not scripture? Are you open to that idea?
He's gonna,
Ooh. So you're asking me to be open to these ideas, and yet you're not open. So I asked you if you're open to these ideas, and you said yes, and then I demonstrated an idea you're not open to. Do you understand that that has proved that you're a hypocrite? Oh, you don't even understand
I
that.
dress with contradictions. You dress with contradictions. Look at, so what? Is a book's got a contradiction?
Yeah, a book with contradictions cannot be true. Do you agree with that? That contradictions would prove that one of the things is a lie? That if the Bible contains lies, it proves that the God that wrote it is a liar? Is that right? Am I understanding that correctly?
you're not understanding that correctly.
I think I am, and I think you guys are just scared of it. I'm leaving, John. Yes, John. Bye. All right. So that's too much of fucking John Choque. Thanks for joining me today, Pastafarians. It's very good to see all of you. You know, he was like engaging in the things that I'm saying, so it feels really nice to, get some answers. I think it's working pretty well. But, you know, real life beckons. I gotta go be an actual person instead of just, you know, my superhero alter ego. If you would like to buy John's study book, do check out his links below. He's also got, I got t-shirts. Check it out. I've got superstition amulets that will cure you of all your superstition. We can send you out some free placebo. First one's free. You know, each one's $1 after that. We got mugs and shit, so, you know, if you would like to support the ministry here, and also if you have any preachers out here in the Denver area that you need a post, do let me know. Next Friday evening, we're going to be going up to Fort Collins to meet the local Pastafarians up there, the people who worship in that area. There's often a group of preachers there to have conversations with. So please come on down next Friday to I don't know, town center or something in Fort Collins, and we'll have conversations with those preachers, and also conversations with the local Pastafarians. So hang out with us. But my audio thing here that I've had for 6 years or whatever has died, so I've got to get a new one of these. Oh, look at that. Jesus. I gained like 87 pounds during Corona, man. It's pretty bad. Alright, Pastafarians, thanks for coming by. I'll see you never.
Yeah, I signed mine right away because I